Live from the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut, NE10 hockey action at the Division II level as this afternoon the Southern New Hampshire University Penmen make about the 4-hour bus ride south to take on your Post University Eagles. A pleasant good afternoon, everybody, is live on the Post University Sports Network around the world, around the country, wherever you can find us. We are here for you this afternoon. I'm Jeff Nelson. The coach, Pete Whitney, will join us in just a moment. Eagles had an up-and-down weekend. They got another win, another shutout win. 5 wins, 5 shutouts for Ben Cunene, 4 in conference, as Eagles won one game up at St. Mike's and lost another. Slowly dragged themselves out of the cellar and into 5th place. They currently sit 5 points behind 4th place Franklin Pierce, and this weekend they get the 6th seed currently in Southern New Hampshire, who are on a 3-game losing streak, making their trip into the Sports Center this afternoon. Coach, again, an up-and-down weekend. Impressively, Ben has tied the NE10 conference record with 5 shutouts. They've won all 5 games by those 5 shutouts, and yet here we are fighting for 4th place with the possibility of a sweep this weekend if they can get it done.
Yeah, and Post they played well against St. Mike's. Caveat being they played well against St. Michael's, even strength. So that is the key to this game, and to honestly their games moving forwards, is their ability to stay out of the penalty box. Once they get a lead, it doesn't matter what your opponent's doing to you. It doesn't matter what your feeling is about officiating. None of that matters. The only thing is the task at hand, which is to win the game. So you have to have that ability to not get too high, not get too low, and just stay in the middle and do your job, play the game the right way. And if you can get yourself to do that, you're going to win more games than that.
Speaking of penalties, both of these teams rank 1 and 2 in most penalties per game. Southern New Hampshire 5.36. They lead the NE10 in most penalties per game. They also have the worst penalty kill at 77.2%. Eagles are second, 5.35 penalties per game. Southern New Hampshire, as you mentioned, on a 3-game losing streak. They've scored 65 goals this year, just shy of 3 per game, and they've given up just about 3.5 at 75. They do lead the NE10 in face-off percentage at 52.6. Coach, staying out of the box is going to be key, but the Eagles offensively, which is where the struggle has been, 45 goals this season total, need to get some more goals on the board. And when they do, they have a tendency to collectively play better, and they've won, obviously, 5 games by shutout.
Yeah, for sure. When you're scoring goals as a player, you feel better. You have a little more jump in your step, a little more jam. The passes seem to be more complete, and you seem to buy into the process. The key is to buy into the process, regardless of the point in the game, whether you're up, down, tied. That's the difference maker from an average team to a good team to a great team.
Eagles currently 4-11-1 overall, though there are several overtime losses in there, which gives you extra points in the mathematically challenged NE10 standings, which we'll get into now. The Eagles have 16 points with those 3 overtime losses, 5 behind Franklin Pierce, who are in absolute free-fall, Coach, and they were here a couple of weeks ago. Still giving up 7 goals a game, but the Eagles have an opportunity this weekend to catch up as they're at St. A's Franklin Pierce. If they can win today, they'll be within 2 points with the Franklin Pierce loss. Yeah,
it's, again, that last 3 spots there, again, you could finish anywhere from last to 4th. So, right, the simplistic answer is just win your games, right? Just win your games, and you're playing against an opponent that's a difference maker, right? 6-point swing tonight or this weekend if you can win. So that's got to be the goal. There's only 4 games left.
Yep.
So,
and to be clear, Franklin Pierce is at first place Assumption this weekend. They're at St. Mike's next weekend. So at first place Assumption this weekend. Again, the Eagles have a chance. And why that 4th place matters is that's the home game in the first round of the playoffs, which that's the goal right now. I'm not sure. Southern New Hampshire's 2 points behind the Eagles, which would put them 7 points, 2.5 games essentially, with 4 to go. Not sure if they're playing for that or just to get to that 5 seed, but that 4-5 game is going to be key.
Yeah, and I mean the goal is right now is to be playing your best hockey. Mm-hmm. I mean that's the goal, and where those other things fall, there, it's great. Obviously, it's great if you can host a playoff game, but I don't think that's really your goal. I think your goal is just to start winning and to continue winning. I don't care where you play.
Absolutely, and this is game one of a 2-game weekend set. Game 2 tomorrow on Valentine's Day. Think Pink at the Rink Day. Come on out, 1 p.m. puck drop, 12:45 pregame. If you can't make it, or if you just like to listen in the stands here on the Post University Sports Network and around the world we are, you can listen to us anywhere on any device on the Post University Sports Network. So Coach and I will be spending early part of Valentine's Day together. I know both of our wives are thrilled, but we hope to have you join us as well for Game 2 of this series tomorrow. But right now we're focusing on Game 1, which will get underway momentarily. And the starting lineups, as always, are brought to you by Post University, who wants you to ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals no matter where you are in your academic journey. Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For more information on all of Post degree programs, to take a tour of campus, visit or apply, because it is the application season, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For the visitors from up in Manchester, the Southern New Hampshire University Penmen, they will start in goal with Sean Guerin, 6'3", 180 junior out of Chicago, Illinois. He's 2-7 on the season, 3.53 goals against average, and an .893 save percentage. His defensive combination is Gavin Simon, 5'11", 180 freshman out of Monticello, Minnesota, and Zakhar Fedorov, 5'11", 178 freshman out of Moscow, Russia. The forwards on left wing, Anthony Marchant, 5'8", 160 out of Norwood, Massachusetts. Coleman Nee, 5'10", 175 out of Arlington, Mass. He's a junior. And on right wing, Zach Vickerman, 6'3", 195 out of Queensville, Ontario. He's also a freshman. Head coaches, co-coaches rather, Matt Osgood and Chris Mogwin. Assistant coach Sean Olston. As Southern New Hampshire has co-coaches right now this season. For the Eagles, as always, Ben Cunine in the pipes. He's 5-12-1 this season with a conference-tying record and conference-leading 5 shutouts. He's got a .925 save percentage and a 2.43 goals against average. Very impressive for a 5-12-1 record. His defensive combination is Tanner Glassrud, 6'7", 225 out of Delano, Minnesota, the captain, and Matt Pacheco, 5'8", 175 out of Belchertown, Massachusetts. He's a sophomore. Forward lines, Caden Schweitzer in his 4th game of the season, freshman of Elgin, Wisconsin. At center, Connor McCowell, 6', 188 out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan. He's a junior. And on right wing, Parker Norling, the sophomore out of Andover, Minnesota, 5'11", 175. Head coach in year 4, Tim Richter. Assistant coach, Andy DeAngelis. Those are your starters for a Friday afternoon here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Coach, this should be a good one this afternoon.
Yeah, these teams are very comparable. It's always a good game. It's always a very competitive game when these two play. Again, like I say, the key is going to be to have the ability to get your opponent to that line, let them go over it, and draw the penalty, and you capitalize hopefully on the power play. Discipline will be an issue and key item for both these teams this afternoon.
We've talked about the terrible weather outside for weeks now. As you've joined us, Coach and I have lovely complained about it. It's one of the nicer days we've had about 6 weeks, about 40 degrees outside and very sunny. So it's nice getting into the rink today, a little not as freezing cold as it has been.
Yeah, watching things melt and realizing that maybe you should check the windshield washer now.
Absolutely.
Check that fluid.
Absolutely. Tomorrow also expected to be a good day. So if you're out and about tomorrow, come on down, Sports Center Connecticut, for the game tomorrow. Or if you're in the car right now, get over here to catch this game today. Puck to drop in a couple of minutes as the starting lineups are announced to the crowd here that's slowly filing into Sports Center of Connecticut on a Friday afternoon. We'll get that extra buzz in the second and third period when the kids come in for the post-game skate, which starts after this game, and that usually fills up the arena a little bit in the second and third periods. Eagles about to be announced to the crowd here this afternoon. And we thank everyone for joining us again. Thank all our engineers and everybody who helps us put this broadcast together here, as this is game 1 of a 3-game homestand, game 1 of a weekend set with Southern New Hampshire, as St. A's will come rolling in here a week from today to wrap up the regular season. Again, a lot on the line still for the Eagles, with an opportunity to get themselves out of the 5 seed with a good weekend and some Franklin Pierce losses. They're still in it. I mean, there's a magical path to the 3 seed, but that involves a lot of losses. But they, in some ways, control their own destiny on that, because if they can win and get one St. A's loss, they play St. A's twice. They control their own destiny on that.
Yeah, the key is just to win out your last 4. And then
we sort of sat here this time last year with a very similar path to get out of the 5 seed, and they weren't able to do it. This year, start with game 1, but now we'll pause for the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem here on a Friday afternoon at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We thank you for joining us across the Post University Sports Network around the world. We are available to you whether through the CACC network or youtube.com/go Post Eagles. Should be a good one here this afternoon. We thank you for joining us again. Southern New Hampshire in the dark blue and yellow, going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. The Eagles in the home whites with the purple letters and the purple helmets, going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Crowd filing in here Friday afternoon as we get ready for puck drop momentarily on a hockey afternoon, a Friday afternoon here in the state of Connecticut. A very fast-growing hockey land. Sometimes it's amazing, Coach, to think about 20 years ago and where we are now with 4 Division I programs, a Division II program, and a dozen Division III programs, and the high school programs, and come a long way.
Yeah, for a small state, you don't really think of Connecticut as a hockey state until you start actually thinking about it, looking at the stats.
Eagles win the face-off. McCall does. The puck up to Schweitzer, and then swung back toward the line by Fedorov. Eagles chip it in after it is Norling. Guerin leaves the puck, and a check-off left for Coleman Knee. Knee, one of the captains for Southern New Hampshire. A collision inside the slot. Puck bounced for a second and then taken away by Vickerman. Vickerman has space on right wing. Long shot over the head of Kunin. Goes all the way out of the zone. Vickerman, as we mentioned, 6'3", 195, and he looks all of it out of Queensville, Ontario.
And he's somebody they'll have to keep an eye on because he's one of their goal scorers.
5 goals on the season for Vickerman in his freshman campaign for Southern New Hampshire. Puck rimmed to Brendan Lynch and then taken away by Kimball, who turned it over at center and brought back in by Watson. Watson up on right wing over the line. Puck centered all the way through. Taken by Murray, given the Bolak, looking for Kimball, gets a stick on it. This could be an icing. Let's see who wins the race. It is waved off. As they say, Kimball was close enough. Murray tried to center it to Bolak, goes through his stick, and then taken by Kaiser. Kaiser, sends it in. Penmen go for a line change, and out comes Owen Rieger. Rieger makes a nice move at center. He's up over the line, feeds a nice pass to Pekka. One-timer shot on the right wing, top of the far circle. Goes wide and around. Puck rimmed from near to far. Chipped up the wall and out the center, and a breakaway opportunity, but out comes Hope off the bench as the Eagles are changing defense, and a centering pass just goes past the stick of Thurston. Kenny Thurston then recenters. McQuegan there to take it, gives to Pekka, and out of the zone come the Eagles. McQuegan takes a return pass from Pekka, using that 6-foot frame toward the net, poking. He's taken down. There's going to be a penalty there. Eagles still have the puck. O'Connell. D to Hope. Hope takes a shot toward the net, deflected. Doesn't get in front. McQuegan still down as he used that 6'2" frame to go around the defense of Jim Minig, and then was taken down hard into the boards behind the net. And at 1:56, the Eagles go to the first power play, but a strong move by McGuigan, Coach.
Yeah, right now it's a good opportunity for Post with the power play because Southern New Hampshire is breaking out way too easy and just skating through the neutral zone. The Post defensively, they're getting caught on the wrong side of the puck and reacting instead of reading. So this is a good opportunity to settle it down, move the puck around, and hopefully cash in with a goal.
As we mentioned, two stats not going Southern New Hampshire's way. They lead the league in penalties taken, which they just did, and they are the worst team in the NE10 in penalty kill at 77.2%, 78 for 101. The Eagles fifth in the NE10 on the power play, 15 for 93, 16.1%. But Minig 2 for holding officially at 106. Puck rimmed around the boards, back to Rieger on right point. Rieger gives it down to Atkinson, takes a return feed. They play some catch as Atkinson's in the corner. Atkinson gives it to Kennedy, center point. Top of the near circle by Howell. Puck bounces and taken out of the zone. Atkinson, who scored during the last home series, his only goal of the season as well. Rieger spins with it. Gets it up to Kennedy. Kennedy, center point. Looks over for Murray. Murray has a move in toward the net. Tried to go short side. Good play by Guerin to hold the post to make the save. Kennedy, D to Rieger. Rieger, top of the near circle, takes a shot toward the net looking for a rebound more than anything. Guerin did a good job to kick it all the way out to center. Eagles a couple of opportunities so far. Here's Murray. Back in over the line. Does a dump toward the net. Guerin can't glove it down. Played by Kaiser. Rimmed it around, but a good job by Norling to hold the line. Norling. Cross to O'Connell. O'Connell, center point. Looking down low. Couldn't find Macau. It bounced away into the corner. Rimmed up and just past Parker Norling's stick and out to center. 30 seconds remaining on the first power play of the game. The Eagles opening power play here as Macau tried to dump it down and swiped all the way down the ice. Kunin leaves it for Santoro. 20 seconds remain on the power play. Santoro goes across looking for O'Connell, who fell down. Ends up on the stick of Norling, who I think was going to change. Now gives to O'Connell. Up over the line, finds Santoro cruising down the slot. One time and a Pekka right on. Big save by Guerin on that setup. Nice feed by Santoro. Had Pekka right in the middle of the far circle, and he took a slap shot that Guerin got his pads on. Power play has expired. Eagles 0 for 1. Macau trying to find somebody at the point. Spindles it in as he kept it in. Gives to Pekka. Pekka cruises toward the net. Tries to go far side with it. Looking for a centering pass. Gets it to Gazzardi. Gazzardi goes down in the corner. Comes back to the point to Pacheco. Pacheco with a shot toward the net. Right pad save by Guerin. Not sure he saw it, but got the flippers out to make that save and kick it into the near side corner. Eagles get it back to the point to Pacheco. Another long shot deflected by Gazzardi. Just missed the net with that deflection as he got a stick on it. Santoro leaves it for Gazzardi. Gives to Santoro. Santoro on the backhand trying to get a shot toward the net. Instead goes back to Pacheco. Pacheco down to Gazzardi. Rimmed it around behind into the near side corner. Good job by Gazzardi and Santoro to play catch. Puck left in the slot finally and taken out of the zone as Southern New Hampshire desperately needs a change, but good step up by Glassrud. Glassrud pinches it back in, but then brought back out and then a pass up the middle to a breaking Watson. Watson closing it. There's going to be a penalty there. Let's see if it's a penalty shot. Just a penalty on a slash as Watson got hacked. He split the middle after the Eagles had several moments of zone time. Some good movement by the Eagles, a couple of opportunities, but then a break up the middle by Watson, and Pacheco will get 2 for slashing at 5 minutes even. Southern New Hampshire is 17 for 75 on the power play, 22.7%. That's second in the NE10. Post 77 for 91, 84.6%. They are third on the penalty kill. Lynch. Long bit an Eagle killer. Centering pass in front made by Pompicelli. Goes off a leg and now behind it again. Pompicelli tried to recenter and the puck gets sent all the way down the ice. Long pass made to Lynch. Lynch gets to the red line, tries to dump it in. Instead, he goes right on the stick of Watson. Watson closes in, and Cunin makes a big save right at the top of his crease as Lynch picked up a puck that wasn't meant for him, cruised in on right wing, and took a heavy wrist shot from the top of the near circle that Cunin made a big save on.
Yeah, Southern New Hampshire doing a good job on their breakout and swinging guys through, which is disturbing and confusing the post defense a little bit on who to pick up. Letting kind of get that puck into the zone pretty easily.
O'Connell tried to send it out, but it was kept in nicely by the leg of Vickerman. He'll send it behind the net. Fighting forward is Hope. Hope and O'Connell back there, but it ends up on Thurston's stick. Thurston on the half wall on the far side. Leads for the defense of Rufa. Then into the middle to Kim. Kim fakes his shot, gives it down low to Vickerman, who takes a return pass to Kim. Kim across to Rufa. Back to Kim. One-timer goes way high. And headhunter slap shot by Vickerman. And a recenter towards Vickerman goes off a stick and into the corner, but played nicely to Devlin. Devlin cycles to Thurston. Thurston behind the net. O'Connell does a good job to get in front of it. Wiped out by Hope and out the center. Good job by the Eagles to recover there after Vickerman, not afraid to shoot, took a headhunting blast at Cunin's head and went off the glass. Right back in the other way comes Pompicelli with a shot gloved by Cunin. With 6:37 gone in period one and 23 seconds remaining on the Penmen first power play, we're still at no score.
Yeah, this is where it's important because I think Southern New Hampshire's pretty good on their draws for post. If they don't win it clean, don't lose it clean.
Lynch on the draw, 22 points on the season. He won it clean. Goes back to Kaiser, who takes a bouncing shot that goes by the pad of Cunin. Glasser tries to get it out, but kept in momentarily by Watson. Still kept in, and then finally given to Murray, and he'll send it all the way down the ice as Lynch tried to make a pass, and Murray stole it. Out to play it aggressively is Guerin away from Kimball, who was attacking. Power play expires now, so the Eagles have killed off the Penmen's first penalty, and the Penmen 0 for 1. Long rim around, then a shot taken toward the net goes off the leg of Lynch. Bolak in there sends it behind the net to Watson. Watson, who drew the penalty, falls down. Murray takes it away as he stick checked him. Glasser tried to feed it to Bolak. It eventually got there. He got hit for his trouble, and then a long pass up to Kimball at center, but a turnover there, and Watson will send it in and go off for his own line change. 7.5 minutes gone in period one. No score here on a Friday afternoon on the Post University Sports Network. We thank you wherever you're joining us around the world today. Bolak sticks it into the netting behind Guerin, and there'll be a face-off, I'm going to guess at center, as that's where it was deflected.
Yeah, he got all of that one.
Yeah, that was a 40-degree lob wedge if I've seen one in a while. As he did that from center, and it went all the way in the high part of the netting. Face-off just outside the Penmen zone. And there'll be an icing here as the Penmen ice it, and the Eagles get some field position with the face-off in the Penmen zone. A lot of hockey going on around the world. As we know, the Olympic hockey is going on right now as well. U.S. plays tomorrow, but you can watch us at 1 and catch the U.S. probably a little after 3. So if you're into hockey and you have Valentine's Day in mind, what better way than post-university hockey and then U.S. against Denmark?
That, a bowl of chips, and you're good to go.
There you go. I know that's what my wife likes, a couple of hockey games and a steak and a lobster. Kennedy gives to McCall, looks up for Norling. Norling had his stick on it, tried to center it in, but then taken away by the Penmen who returned a pass all the way down. No icing as they got past the stick of Hope, who gets it left for him by Cunin. Kennedy to Hope. Gets to the red line. Lob wedges his own one in there. That one won't go into the netting. Norling will chase down on the forecheck, and Minnick goes down. Puck still in that near side corner. Norling hits Minnick again. Puck goes behind the net. Rufa rimmed it around to the far side, but good forecheck by the Eagles as Veenstra was checked off, and now behind the net is Rufa again. Aiden Rufa, freshman out of Messina, New York, in his first season with the Eagles. O'Connell turns it over inside the zone. Almost an opportunity for Veenstra, but the Eagles got back defensively. Now here's Atkinson with speed. Up on left wing, over the line, centered in front, looking for Pekka. It goes off his stick as a nice play by Atkinson. Then a recenter in front, the Howell, a big save, and then a rebound score! Jacob Howell got robbed by Guerin on the first shot, but stayed with it and followed through. And at 9:02, the Eagles get on the board. It's 1-0, and Jacob Howell, red hot, coach. That's goal number 7 on the year, point 13. And the Eagles have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time to be burying pucks for sure. And that all started where I think the Southern New Hampshire player, if he could, he would probably want that back, putting that puck to the net, letting that player ahead drive the net and look for a rebound rather than trying to complete a pass through the post player. So fortunate for Post that they made that decision and that they made the most of it.
So the goal will be Howell, his 7th, and he's red hot. From Pekka, who made the beautiful centering pass, and Owen Atkinson at 9:02. So Atkinson, his 3rd point of the year. Pekka, his 4th point of the year. And the Eagles take a 1-0 lead at 9:02. Also, after the goal, Hugh McQuegan goes off the ice. Looks like he was injured on when he drew that penalty, coach. So hopefully he's okay. But jersey off and on to the locker room for Hugh McQuegan. Puck bouncing around right in the middle of the ice, taken and dumped back in by Slingerland. Slingerland sends it behind the net to Thurston. Good check by Glasser to get the puck on the Gazzardi stick, and he nicely just dumps it out the center, which will make everybody regroup a little bit. So the Eagles take a 1-0 lead early. Glassrud off the stick of the Penmen, so there's no icing there. It'll go all the way down the ice behind Guerin, where it's played by Boucher. Boucher behind his own net. Sophomore out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Gives the Kaiser. Kaiser up at center, but a good pin to the wall there by Hope, and a turnover as the Eagles take the puck back. Long pass ahead looking for Murray. That's too far, and that'll probably be... Nope, they wave off the icing there to say it was deflected, so no icing. As Murray had gone on the near side, and the puck went to the far side. Thought that was an icing, but no, it's not. Near turnover by Hope, but gets it back, and then they almost turn it over to Watson, and the Eagles recover. Some sloppy play by both teams there as the puck tries to get out of the zone right at the blue line here, right in front of us in the broadcast center. 5 players fighting for it. Hope finally comes away with it. He'll spindle away from the forecheck of Russell and give to Kennedy behind his own net. Kennedy looking to come out, feeds a nice pass ahead to Norling. Norling gets to the red line, does a nice cross-ice dump. McCowell will chase after. McCowell gets there first, centers it to Norling on a one-timer from the bottom of the near circle. Not sure how much of it was gotten by Guerin, but the puck goes into the crowd anyway, and 9:14 remains in period 1. 1-0, and a nice setup there, Coach.
Yeah, they're starting to get their legs because, honestly, the first period so far has been kind of choppy. It hasn't been a really quick pace. I mean, Southern New Hampshire has been good at getting through the neutral zone. Just Post doing well, taking advantage of that one mistake that they did make.
O'Connell with a shot toward the net. They got deflected, and the Penmen will bring it out to center. Knee had it dumped in. Good play by Norling to come away with it. Avoids the referee as he tries to carry it out. A pass across the ice to Rieger, who gloves it down. Rieger brings it in over the line, dumps it in. That'll force Minnig to chase after it. He'll get it around to the near side. Try to backhand pass by Vickerman out the center, and that's where it goes. Penmen make a line change. Howell with the deflection on a long pass by Rieger will make Guerin hold the puck. With 8:37 to go in period 1, still 1-0 on the Jacob Howell goal at 9:02. Face off to Guerin's right. Bradley McMahon's on the ice for the first time today. Pekka on the draw. He's got Howell to his right. Pekka wins it clean to Glassrud. Glassrud tried to take a shot, but good defense there by Kim, forcing him to turn the puck over, and back the other way comes Southern New Hampshire. They get it into the Eagle zone. Played nicely by Veenstra, but he turns it over to Pekka. Pekka gets it out the center. They bring it right back in, but Glassrud just took it, got to the red line, tried to dump it in, goes off the high glass, sent down into the Penmen zone, rimmed around by Fedorov. To the far side, good forecheck by the Eagles. McMains turnover nearly, and then finally brought out by the Penmen, but not a good pass. So Glassrud able to step in, take the puck away, try to get to the red line. McMains fighting for it, Brings it to Pekka. Pekka up on left wing over the line, who has the primary assist on the Howell goal. Looking for McMahon, still stick checking in there. Southern New Hampshire can't get it out as Pekka takes a shot toward the net wide. Santoro now on the ice. Santoro takes a hit in the far side corner by Kaiser. Rims it around to the near side where Atkinson steps in. Atkinson goes back to Kennedy but turned it over. And the puck sent down into the Eagle zone. Rieger to Santoro, gets to the red line, had it poked off his stick by the aggressive Tyler Murray, but Kennedy there to help him out. And here comes Rieger in over the line with a shot that stopped. Then a recenter in front. Guerin makes another big save. 2 or 3 big saves by Guerin in this period. Just wasn't able to stop the rebound on the Howell robbery as Howell was able to put it in. But good move there by Owen Rieger to pick up the puck on Santoro. Here's Gazzardi in over the line. Centered in front again, and Howell had an opportunity, and somehow Guerin got a glove on that.
Yeah, right now the difference is Post is able to complete their passes. Southern New Hampshire positionally is coming through the neutral zone fine, but they can't connect on their passes, turning pucks over to Post, which is giving Post these really good opportunities.
So correction, that was Atkinson and not Howell, but highway robbery by Guerin. I'd love to be able to see that replay with the glove, but clearly the coach is not happy with Southern New Hampshire's defense in the last 2 minutes. They have called timeout. 12:57 into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to get them, if you're them, settle down and you got to connect your passes. Because like I said, they're coming through the neutral zone positioning. They're in a good place, but they miss passes, and then twice, again, they're not seeing through the layers. Pekka made a great play on the wall, and then another puck came across that Glassrud stepped in front of, doing a good job reading the play. But conversely, right now, Southern New Hampshire not doing a good job of seeing through those layers and connecting their passes, and I'm sure that's what they're talking about. Just settle it down.
The recognition also, Coach. Sorry, Coach. The recognition also that this could be 3-0 right now, and it's not for Guerin because Guerin was the one guy who didn't go over to the bench. The recognition is Guerin's kept this game 1-0. It could be 3-0 easily. Yeah,
Post again, great opportunities taking advantage of some of the miscues so far by Southern New Hampshire.
Murray on the draw, got it ahead to Bolak, who tried a little chop shot. Now they're fighting for it in the near side corner. Bolak has it. Tries to go back to O'Connell with it, but then stolen and chipped up the wall. So Southern New Hampshire uses their timeout. 12:57 into the first period. Eagles lead 1-0, but not for Sean Guerin. It could be 3-0 as he robbed Owen Atkinson right before the timeout. Hope right in the middle of Murray. Murray tried to get it out of the zone. Instead, he hit a penman and came right back to him. He was able to get it out and give it to Bolak. Bolak being heavy checked, as typically that kind of timeout gives your team a little renewed energy, and Southern New Hampshire has it. They'll dump it in, go off on a line change, and Pacheco will play it behind his own net with 6:20 to go in the first period, 1-0 Eagles. Pacheco gives to Macau, goes right back to Pacheco, goes up the far side of the ice looking for Schweitzer. He'll tip it in, so no icing. Chasing after it is Norling. Good stick away by the penman, but then Macau in there forechecking turns the puck over. Puck on the half wall, back to the point for a long shot by Glassrud that goes high and wide. Looking for a deflection more than anything. I think it went off a penman's stick, then recentered in front. Macau couldn't get a stick on it. Penman struggling to get it out. Vickerman finally does. It goes off the glove of Glassrud, and he'll go back to play it behind his own net. Pacheco actually got there first, so he'll play it behind his own net, feed it out to Schweitzer off his stick, and Jacob Howell, the goal scorer, goes chasing after it. He'll pin Boucher to the wall as 2 Eagles in there forechecking. They've done a good job forechecking so far in this game. Howell trying to come away with it. He's taking Boucher with him. Howell tries to spin away. Finally taken by Devlin. Devlin tries to go up the middle with it dangerously. Pekka stepped in his way. Pacheco playing on right point as Devlin goes flying, and the Eagles keep it in. Howell behind his own net. He'll have it on the near side corner as everybody changes behind him. Howell tried to leave for Pekka, turned it over. Puck tries to get out of the zone, and finally the Penmen come out on a 4-man wave. Up on right wing, over the line with a centering pass in front, and a beautiful deflection by Jory Veenstra. 6', 175 out of Kansas City, Missouri. The freshman made a nice deflection on a heavy centering pass by Kyle Slingerland, but Kunin got the glove on it.
Yeah, really good job by Ben. Just you could see just reading the play, identifying where the dangerous player was, and made a nice save.
But a 4-man rush by the Penman, and a win off the faceoff blocked by Atkinson. Gets that puck out the center on the shot by Tyler Murray, 6' senior out of Barrie, Vermont. Penman centered the puck in front as they picked it up inside the Eagle zone, but then Atkinson tried to get out, turned it over, puck kept in to Murray. Murray behind his own net, checked by Rieger. Centering pass in front by Pompicelli, but he turned it over on a blind center. Now look up for Gazzardi. Gazzardi trying to get it off his stick, still moving. Somehow he has it centered in front to Atkinson. It just went wide. Good fight by Gazzardi to find that puck and center it, but just past Atkinson. Atkinson still fighting, gives it to Santoro. Now a four-man crush behind the net, and there's going to be a Penmen penalty at 15:34 as Atkinson in that work, he goes down. And the Eagles are about to go to their second power play of the game. As Atkinson taken down on the hold. And make sure that was Atkinson. It was actually, yeah, that was Atkinson. Sometimes those eights and nines are hard to see from up here. But for the second time, Jim Minnick in the penalty box, this time for holding. Actually, he was holding the last time at 15:34. So 2 holding penalties for Minnick. And Eagles back to their second power play. Murray to McCall. McCall spins back to Murray on a backhand pass. Puck pops in the air. Murray fighting for it, and Norling comes over to help. Norling looking for O'Connell back at the point dangerously, though. Kept it in momentarily and then squirts out the center. That was a dangerous pass as O'Connell was the only one back, and 2 Penmen were coming for it. McCall tries to get it in, tried to dump it in. Instead, it goes off a leg into the near side corner. The Penmen grab it and dump it all the way down the ice. Kunin, long pass to Pekka, tagged up. Pekka goes across the ice to Norling. Norling closing and looking for a shot. Got deflected, I think, off the leg of McCall in front. Never got to Guerin. And the puck into the near side corner, but Pekka plays it at the point. Pekka, fancy move, tries to get it deep. Instead, it was blocked. Pekka played it down. Coleman knee got on that. Behind the back pass from McCall. McCall goes back to the point to O'Connell. O'Connell back to Norling. Norling being watched by knee. Puck rimmed around to the near far side this time. Penmen turn it over, though. O'Connell looking in the middle of McCall. McCall tried to take a shot, stopped by Guerin. Didn't get all of it. I think he was looking to pass to Pekka more than anything. And Kennedy came off the bench. They tried to feed it to him for a one-timer, but he was offside, so he had to play it back in the neutral zone. Now Santoro up on right wing, looking for a shot toward the net. Got blocked in front by the sliding body of, I believe, Aiden Rufa. And the puck sent all the way down the ice with 30 seconds remaining on the Eagles' second power play of the game. 2:50 to go in period 1. 1-0 Eagles on a Jacob Powell goal. Here's Kennedy to Atkinson, who drew this penalty. Gets to the blue line, dumps it down around the boards from near to far. Left for Rieger. Rieger goes back to Santoro, over to Kennedy. Kennedy fakes a shot, then takes a shot that goes high and wide. Rimmed around to Howell. Howell, right point. Power play about to expire. Gives to Santoro. Santoro makes a nice move on Lynch. Closes in, gives back to Kennedy. Takes a shot that got blocked in front. Going to stick toward the net, goes wide. Power play expires. Eagles 0 for 2. Howell on the half wall, looking to go back to Rieger. Instead gives to Kennedy. Kennedy closes in on the far circle, fakes his shot, makes a move, leaves it for Santoro. Santoro makes a nice little toe drag, holds the puck, waits, gives it across to Kennedy. Eagles still have the puck. Trot toward the net, deflected right on, stopped by Guerin, as that was a light shot that was looking for a deflection. They got it, and Guerin made the save. Penmen looking for a line change. They've been out there a long time with 1:50 to go. In period 1, Eagles have that puck pinned on the half wall right now, able to change their defense as Pacheco and Glassroot come on. Penman still looking for a line change. Boucher trying to get it out. Finally goes backhand in the air. Goes off the glove of Murray, and the Eagles tried to return it quickly, but Murray did a good job of keeping the puck going back the other way. Then a long pass too far. This could be an icing. Kimball chases after it, but it will be an icing as Rufa got back there with 98 seconds to go in period number 1. Actually, that's 88 seconds to go in period number 1. Still 1-0. Coach Eagles did a good job. Didn't get a lot of shots, but did a good job pinning the Penmen in that zone.
Yeah, overall, you're gaining zone time. That's a difference maker because that plays on your psyche as a player too.
Face-off inside the Eagles zone, won by the Penmen, and then chipped out the center, was deflected. And they're saying they went off the bench? Or they're saying there were 6 players on the ice? There were 6 players on the ice? Okay, too many men on the ice at 18:35. I'm going to admit to missing that one. I don't know if somebody came off the bench or not, who shouldn't have, but
hard to see along here, too.
And I didn't count 6 as they dropped the puck. They usually don't do that. But at 18:35, a too many men on the ice penalty. And the Eagles now shorthanded for the second time. Southern New Hampshire's Kaiser goes center slot with a shot that goes deflected off a leg and wide. Played over here for Watson, goes back to Kaiser. Kaiser to Watson, top of the near circle, closes in with a shot again. Kunin makes another save. Pacheco raced to the puck, got it up to McCowan. He'll send it all the way down the ice. So a too many men on the ice penalty served by Connor Murray with a minute to go in the first period and a minute 35 remaining on the power play. Kaiser dumps it down around the boards from far to near. O'Connell gets to it first, can't chip it out. Instead goes back to Kaiser. Kaiser goes across, gives to Veenstra with a shot right on. Rebound, Kunin stretches. Puck bounces in the air. Finally, he gloves it as McCowell made a nice little pass back to Kunin with a glove. And a big save by Ben Kunin to keep this 1-0 with 45.6 to go in the first period.
Yeah, Ben did a great job finding that puck, melting it down in that traffic, and that was a dangerous opportunity for Southern New Hampshire.
Devlin and Santoro to the right of Kunin. Faceoff just dies there, taken by Thurston. Looks to go across, one-timer, score! Vickerman, who's had no fear of shooting the puck all game, found a beautiful pass by Thurston, and at 19:21, Southern New Hampshire has tied the game at 1 on the power play.
And that's where we see so important, again, like we talk about, maybe not winning every draw, but you can't lose your draws. We lost the draw. All the attention was over to that side. To their credit, Southern New Hampshire, good on the power play, moved it quick. 14 was ready, buried the puck.
For Vickerman, his 6th of the year, his 13th point. Thurston gets the primary. Now Pekka right back the other way with a shot toward the net that goes wide. As the Eagles transition right back in quickly, McMains dumps it behind the net. Howell picks it up. Howell looked to center it back to Pekka. Instead, he gets pinched into the near side corner. Devlin picked it up behind the net, tried to send her up the near side. Kennedy kept it in. Puck bouncing away, and finally out come the Penmen with a 3-man rush. Up on right wing over the line, but a good job by Kennedy to pin him there. Then a centering pass in front by Devlin, looking for the stick of Veenstra. Played by Howell with 5 seconds. He'll spindle it in his own zone, keep it there. Period will end, and it's 1-1 after 1 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Officially, the goal is going to be Vickerman, his 6th, from Thurston, also a freshman out of Plymouth, Massachusetts, and Stone Devlin, who won that faceoff. The junior out of West Falmouth, Massachusetts. Falmouth. I don't want to get yelled at by Massachusetts people. Falmouth. At 19:21, a power play goal. So 1-1. Coach, not a bad period for the Eagles overall. Southern New Hampshire gets the late power play goal. I mean, the bugaboo here is that, as we joke, the Eagles haven't won a game they've given up a goal in, but it's 1-1. What do you take away from the first period?
Well, again, Post had the better of the play 5-on-5, which we talked about before the game started, but you just have to find a way to stay out of the penalty box, right? I mean, that was a situation where there's a lack of communication at some level, and that's the type of thing that just can't happen, especially when, you're playing against a team that has a very good power play.
And Vickerman not afraid to shoot, as we've seen.
No, that was a quality shot and exactly where it had to be.
I'll say this, through one period, that's a kid who's going to be dangerous as time moves on. He's just a freshman.
Yes. Yeah,
not afraid to shoot, and that was a blast on the one-timer on the setup by Kenny Thurston. So that's where we are through one period of play here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Both teams have a goal. Jacob Howell for the Eagles, his 7th. Zach Vickerman, a power play goal, his 6th. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a look around the post-university sports scene as we do at every home game here on the Post-University Sports Network. Wilson here with you up at the Broadcast Center in the first period intermission, where we look around the post-university sports scene. Brought to you by Post University and its 17 NCAA Division II athletic programs. From its nationally ranked men's soccer team, who have made the NCAA Sweet 16 3 times in the last 4 years and the tournament 4 times in a row, or the brand new women's flag football team slated to start in a couple months, a little over a month, here in 2026. Post offers a variety of sports in every season you can enjoy, whether you're a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on post-university athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Eagle fans, Valentine's Day is, well, tomorrow. And don't be one of those people that's waited to the last minute. Well, if you're shopping now, you waited to the last minute to get that gift. What better way to surprise that special someone in your life who loves the Eagles than with Post-University branded items and clothing? How do you get those items? Well, you go to posteagles.com, click on the Fans tab, then click on School Store on the left-hand side, and shop till you drop for all the latest Eagles swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code LOVE25 to receive 25% off any order of $100 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's LOVE25, LOVE25. It will expire Sunday, February 15th on this long President's Day weekend. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. That's open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's start with the women's basketball team coming off a 4-overtime thriller on Saturday. They lost on Sunday to Holy Family and then scored 33 points in the fourth quarter to beat the Fighting Subways of Queens College on Wednesday, 60-41, up at the Drubner Center. That was game 4 of a 5-game homestand. Alyssa Rossignol again dominated for the Eagles. She had 29 points in 36 minutes, 11 for 29 overall, while hitting 6 of 7 free throws and scoring just under half the points for the Eagles on that day. Claire Green finished with her first double-double of the season, scoring 10 points with a season-high 13 rebounds in 36 minutes. And then playing 33 minutes off the bench, Mackenzie Ford had a career-high 13 rebounds. First time in her career that she's eclipsed double-digit rebounds. The 33 points in the fourth quarter was the most in a single quarter in just over a year, as they did that against Wilmington University on the road. The Eagles will play Game 5 of the 5-game homestand. The 9-12 Eagles, by the way, they've come a long way. They take on Wilmington University Saturday night at 5 p.m. at the Drubner Center. So hockey here at 1 o'clock. Women's basketball at 5 o'clock up at the Drubner Center. What better way to spend some time on Valentine's Day than catching your Eagles in action. Men's basketball, they lost to Jefferson 83-65 as the Eagles fall to 9-14 on the season, 8-7 in the CACC. Taquan Williams had 8 points in 3 minutes to start the game for the Eagles. He finished with 15 points overall on 5 for 13 shooting. Matt McCool was a perfect 6 for 6 from the field for Jefferson University. He had 13 points in 19 minutes. The Eagles 6-1 now on leading halftime, while being 3-12 while trailing. And after beating Jefferson twice last year, the Eagles have now lost the 2 matchups this year. The men will play at home with only 2 games left in the regular season. They'll be on at 7 p.m. up at the Drubner Center against Wilmington on Saturday. So 5 p.m. for the women, 7 p.m. for the men up at the Drubner Center tomorrow. That's Valentine's Day night. That's after hockey here at 1 o'clock. Women's hockey, well, they're playing here, and they'll be playing in about 3 hours or so upstairs here at the Sports Center of Connecticut as they will host Stone Hill. Eagles are coming off a pair of overtime losses against Sacred Heart, 3-2 here last Friday, 1-0 at the Martiri Family Arena at Sacred Heart on Saturday. But they'll play Stone Hill in back-to-back games. They'll play 7:45 tonight here upstairs at the Sports Center of Connecticut, and then 2:15 tomorrow. So a big, huge day. I know our staff will be stretched very much with men at 1 o'clock, men's hockey at 1, women's hockey at 2:15, basketball at 5, and basketball at 7. So a big post-university sports day here on the Post-University Sports Network if you want to get your hockey and basketball fixes. In the NEWHA, the Eagles are currently 7th with 29 points. They're 5 points out of 6th place against Sacred Heart and 9 behind LIU as the regular season gets ready to wrap up in the NEWHA. Who the Eagles may play in that first round still up for grabs. Doesn't look like they'll be able to get up to a home game, or a home series rather, in the NEWHA playoffs. Men's lacrosse had their media day a short time ago. They're getting ready to start. They'll be at American International College on Wednesday. Should be interesting. Hopefully they'll get the snow off. 4 p.m. at AIC. The home opener is on February 25th, so a week from Wednesday. They'll host Assumption up at Lemoy Field, 3:30 p.m. face-off for the men's lacrosse team, which begins on the road Wednesday and then will play on February 25th, a important day on the calendar, the home opener against Assumption. Baseball, well, if you're ready for all of the fun things that baseball brings, you'll be happy to know the Eagles play today. The men's baseball team will play today against the number one team in the country, the University of Tampa. That first pitch will be at 6 p.m. down at the University of Tampa as the Eagles start the season with a 3-game set tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday at the University of Tampa before traveling to Myrtle Beach to play a variety of teams. Their first on-campus home game won't be till March 11th when they'll host Caldwell University. The Eagles will be traveling around the country in the southeastern portion of the United States, playing a variety of teams. But start today, 6 p.m., first pitch against the University of Tampa. And in flag football, well, that's coming up too, as the Eagles will get underway in a couple weeks with the road game in flag football before 2 home games in a row up at Lemoy Field. So join us for that as well, as it's a busy time of the year. End of the conference regular season, followed by the conference playoffs and hopefully some NCAA berths for all the post-university sports teams here at Post University. That's our look around the post-university sports scene for our Friday afternoon. We'll do it again tomorrow after the first period of Game 2 of this series. 1-1 the score. We'll be back in 2 minutes with Coach's thoughts and a first period that was exciting, but a draw after 20 minutes of play. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network.
His brother was good.
First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. 1-1 the score. Recap. Well, Jacob Howell took a beautiful centering pass from Mateo Pekka after a good play by Atkinson on a streak up the left wing. He took the shot. It got stopped by Guerin. Pekka found the rebound behind the net, centered it in front. Howell robbed on the first opportunity, found a rebound, and put it behind Sean Guerin to make it 1-0 for Howell, his 7th of the year at 9:02 from Pekka and Atkinson. But then late in the first period on a power play goal, it's his 6th of the year for Vickerman. We have the assists from Thurston and Devlin. The official score has it slightly differently, but we're working through that right now. But we'll call it what it is, which is Vickerman 6 from Thurston and Devlin in 1921 on the power play. Shots on goal in the first period, Eagles 11, Southern New Hampshire 8. Face-offs are the best team in the NE10 on face-offs. Southern New Hampshire 10, Post 7. Coach, to your point, 5-on-5, the Eagles look good. Even their power plays look good. They had a lot of zone time. If we track that, we would see that the Eagles had a lot of puck possession inside the Penmen zone, but late penalty, late power play goal leaves this game 1-1.
Yeah, 5-on-5 Post, by far the better team. It really did look like Southern New Hampshire was having trouble getting their feet going, so to speak, right? So we'll see, you got those bus legs, see if they skated those out of them and if they change anything here now that we get into the second period here.
See if we get an official update on the goal. We'll keep it for what it is right now. So Vickerman, his 6th of the season, his 13th point. Always a little disturbing when everybody on the roster was born in the 2000s now, Coach.
Probably a typo.
If only. If only.
Well, we'll see, too, how we change, if things change on the icings and that, because, our fourth official has joined us. With three officials in that first period, but the other linesman is here now, so see if that makes a difference, that the referees don't have to do the double duty that they were forced to do.
Also, no update on Hugh McGuigan, who went off the ice after drawing the penalty early in the first period. He went off, jersey off, into the locker room, and we have no update on him right now either, as both teams get ready to take the ice for the start of period number 2. Credit to Sean Guerin as well, Coach. 11 shots by the Eagles in the first period. 3 10-bell saves by Sean Guerin to keep it 1-0 at the time.
Yeah, it could be to your point, Jeff, it could be very different. It could be 2-3-1 right now all day long.
Southern New Hampshire took their timeout early in the, midway through the first period after Guerin robbed Jacob Howell what would have been his second goal. The coaches decided that was the time to take the timeout because things were getting close to getting out of hand, and you can't rely on Guerin to bail you out on everything, as they had so far. Penmen 8-13-1 overall, 4-11-1 in the NE10. Eagles 5-17-1 overall, 4-11-1 in the NE10. Overtime points make the Eagles ahead of the Penmen by 2. Eagles 5 points behind Franklin Pierce for 4th place in the NE10 standing. Penmen in the blue and yellow, dark blue and yellow. Go right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Eagles in a home white. Let's go left to right as you look at your screen and dial. Start of the second period. Thank you for joining us around the world, around the country, or wherever you are on the Post University Sports Network. Coleman Nee and Connor McCowell on the draw. Nee wins the faceoff. Sends it back into the Penmen zone where it's chased by Boucher. Boucher gets checked, turned it over, and the puck lay in front for a moment as Schweitzer cruised the slot. Almost found a loose puck. Instead pinches it behind the net where McCowell and Schweitzer go to work on Boucher. Rims it up the far side wall. Nee tried to center it across, looking for his defenseman. Instead, the Eagles get it center and rim it right back in as they tag up. Norling found the puck, tried to center it to Schweitzer, turned it over. Boucher looks up ahead for Vickerman, who's got the Penmen goal, and the puck brought into the Eagles zone. Vickerman sends it around, looking for Marchand. Marchand tripped it up the wall but turned it over to McCowell, send it out to center. Puck bouncing as 2 Penmen collide. That was Lynch and Slingerland. They collided at center, allowing the Eagles to bring it into the Penmen zone, but back the other way comes Kyle Slingerland. Up on right wing, over the line, tries to dump it around Kennedy. Good job by Glassrud to get there first. And Kennedy feeds Howell, and Howell gets it out to center. Howell and Atkinson on the ice. Atkinson tried to chip it away. He'll turn it over, give to Fedorov. Fedorov, little chip pass, but turned it over, and Kennedy will play to Glassrud. Eagles have changed up their defense pair, as it's Glassrud and Kennedy now. And have changed up, well, now they've gone back to the regular lines, as probably just in the middle of the line change, Atkinson and Howell on the ice. Howell chases after it. Actually, that's Atkinson. Atkinson leaves for Pekka. Pekka in the near side. Zamboni door spins away. Atkinson in there to help. Feeds it down to Howell. Nope, they've changed the lines. Here's Pekka. Pekka tried to center it in front to Atkinson. He couldn't get a stick on it. Puck rimmed around. Trying to keep it in as Kennedy, as a couple of other sevens go after it. He kept it into Pekka. Pekka, far side corner. Nice little feed to Atkinson. Atkinson goes back to the point to Rieger. Rieger holds, waits, takes a shot that gets blocked. Rieger picked it up again, looked to send it deep, but then shot off the roof, which is hard to do here at the Sports Center of Connecticut with 1:59 gone in the second period. Downstairs, at least. Hard to hit the roof, but they did. And that'll lead to a face-off deep inside the Penn men's zone, as it looks like Coach Richter has changed up the lines a little bit.
Yeah, right now, too, Post is definitely, at this point, a step quicker than Southern New Hampshire is. So that's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Murray on the draw. Puck just lays there. Picked up by Kimball. He tried to take a shot toward the net, but chopped away by his opposing 19 number, Veenstra. Eagles do a good job to keep it in. Rim it behind the net. Boucher tries to chase after it. Bolak in there with a forecheck. And again, the Eagles have been strong on a forecheck today, having plenty of zone time. That puck just pinned to the wall. 4 players, now 5 players. 3 Penn men, 2 Eagles fighting for it. As the players are yelling like it's a curling match trying to find that puck. It's finally rimmed around to the far side. Eagles do a good job to keep it in as pinching in was Norling. Kimball gets it to Murray. Murray keeps it in with a nice pass over here for Hope. Hope looked for it, kept it, blocked off a leg. Murray with a long shot toward the net, deflected. Bolak and Kimball both looking for the rebound. It went off the stick of Kimball and wide. Long pass by the Penmen off of O'Connell's stick. Hope has to play it inside his own zone. He's forechecked away, and a puck dumped all the way down. This might be an icing. Let's see. It is not going to be. It's not going to reach the line as Kaiser got there first. Kaiser, backhand pass, looking for Knee. Coleman, long pass ahead to Vickerman off his stick, taken by Kennedy. Behind Kunin, he gives the Hope. Hope had to roll off his stick. He had to fight for it. Then makes a nice pass up to Santoro. Santoro, 1-on-2 with speed. Up on right wing over the line. Gets around defenseman number 1. Tries to spindle it around. Looking to center. Comes all the way through. Gives to Rieger. Rieger with a quick pass to Gazzardi. He goes off his stick. Kennedy trying to find it as Rieger and Kennedy together again on defense. And now a 2-on-1 opportunity. Here's Knee. Over the line. Feeds it over. Takes a recentering pass as Marchand looked to find him. But it goes wide. Delayed penalty on the Penmen. On the Eagles, rather, as Guerin was going off. And there will be a hooking penalty to the Eagles at 3:40. And it looks like it's going to be Aiden Kennedy who gets 2 for hooking. And the Eagles shorthanded for the 3rd time today with the Penmen 1 for 2 on the man advantage.
Yeah, as ever, it's so important to win your battles with your feet, right? That's something that we preach as coaches. And sometimes you get yourself in that position and you're stuck, and you just kind of got to let the guy go a little bit and work on your body position. One-timer
from the point on a setup pass by Kaiser. That shot taken by Pompaselli, stopped by Kunin 4 seconds into the man advantage. Clean face-off win to the left point, then across the D-to-D pass to Pompaselli and a one-timer stopped by Kunin. Lynch on the draw again. Goes back to the point. Holds, waits, shoots. That was going wide. Ben gloved it anyway as Kaiser took another shot. And that's 13 seconds of power play time and a couple of opportunities for the Penmen, who will make a wholesale line change after 13 seconds.
Yeah, not surprisingly, they got number 14 back out there.
Devlin will take the draw. And it looks like Santoro for the Eagles. Santoro, one of the better face-off men in the NE10. He wins that one. Gets it to Glassroot, fan on his wraparound. He tries to get the puck again. And a centering pass taken by the Penmen, who kept it in the zone. Devlin fighting for it. Eagles come away with it and get it to center. And then dump it all the way down. Guerin leaves it behind his net for Aiden Rufa. 6'2", 195 out of Messina, New York. Gives it to Devlin. He'll go back to Thurston. Thurston gets to the red line, makes a fancy move, gets into the zone, over the line, tried to take a shot toward the net, chopped in, as he didn't get much of it as it was deflected off the stick of O'Connell right into Kunin. And another face-off deep inside the Eagle zone with 46 seconds gone on power play number 3 for the Penmen. 4:27 gone in period number 2, still 1-1.
Yeah. So New Hampshire getting some opportunities right now, not necessarily grade A opportunities, but, they're putting the puck in there. If it rattles around, you never know where it might end up.
Lynch back on the ice against Santoro. Puck just dives right in the face-off circle. Eagles end up with it, and down the ice it goes as Bolak found a loose puck. Guerin will have to stick it into the corner with a minute to go on the power play. And puck picked up by Pompaselli. He'll leave it for Kaiser. Bolak watching Kaiser, but Kaiser with a head of steam gets to the red line. Step up by O'Connell. Kaiser keeps going. Finally sticked away by Hope, but he'll wrap it back to Watson. Watson on right point, now goes to center point, looking for a lane. Instead gives it over to Kaiser. Kaiser has a shot toward the net. Kunin makes a save. Puck bouncing in the slot, diving for it to get it out. Looked like O'Connell. Excuse me, that was Bolak. And then finally the Eagles find the puck and send it all the way down the ice.
Yeah,
Good effort.
That was fortunate for the Eagles because he had plenty of time to settle that puck down and get some real good wood on it.
25 on the power play is a fancy move by Veenstra. Gets to the red line. Feeds a quick pass to Devlin over on left wing. Devlin gets it in, goes behind the net, gets checked by Rieger. Still going with it, though. Looking to go back to Kaiser at the point. He gives it to him. Goes down low to Watson. Watson tried to center it across. Kunin held the post, made a save there. Picked up again by Watson. Watson comes back over here, gives to Kaiser. Kaiser looking for Watson, and then there's going to be a penalty on Watson for interference with 1 second remaining on the Penmen power play. And we'll play 4-on-4 for a full second at 5:40, and then the Eagles will go on power play number 3.
Yeah, well, that's a gift that you hope you can take advantage of.
Needless interference penalty, although almost all penalties are needless some way or the other.
Right, but more so with that, you're 5-on-4 in the offensive zone, not a penalty you need to take.
Watson for interference at 5:40. Eagles now on the power play for 1:59. Rieger brings it down, tried to center it across too many sticks and bodies, and it was wiped all the way down the ice by Simon. So the Eagles will regroup. Too many bodies and sticks for that pass by Rieger, and he'll take the puck inside the Eagle zone. He'll go across the ice to Atkinson. Atkinson, he'll try to go through too many bodies. He'll turn it over. Simon tries to rip it down the ice, and he does. Kennedy takes the feed from Kunin behind his own net. He'll wait to set it up. Kennedy comes out, feeds a pass ahead to Atkinson. Atkinson to the red line. This time he'll dump it down around the boards from far to near. Santoro racing in after, trying to find it. It pops up in the air. 3 Penmen have it, and then there's a hand pass called inside the Eagle zone. So there'll be a face-off to the left of Sean Guerin with 1:13 remaining on the Eagle third power play.
And hard to get anything going here with the penalties, power play, penalty kills. Like to see some 5-on-5 hockey, get a pace, get a tempo, let everybody show what they can do.
Santoro, 3 straight wins on the draw. Howell to Rieger. Rieger, near point, shot toward the net, blockered away by Guerin. Kennedy has it again, looking for a deflection. He got one, but it went over the net. Rieger in the corner, rims it around all the way to Howell. Howell chips it back behind the net, then played up the wall. Santoro does a nice job to keep it in. He leaves it across with a cross-ice pass to Rieger. Rieger holds, waits, looks for the deflection of Santoro, and he had it. Nice little pass to Santoro, just couldn't get it down. And into the netting it goes with 45 seconds remaining on the Eagle power play. So wholesale line changes for everybody, Coach. That was at least a decent setup there as Rieger looked for Santoro.
Yeah, it was a very well-conceived play. Just, again, the angle was a little bit too steep to be on the net.
Face-off pinned in the corner on the far side. 6 players fighting for it. Somebody's going to come away with it, and it's going to be Norling for now. Norling goes all the way back to the point with it, barely keeps it in, and it's finally chopped out of the zone by the aggressive Brendan Lynch. And the Eagles will need to regroup with 30 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Murray brings it in over the line, just onside was Norling as he was offside, had to go back. Pekka, nice centering pass to O'Connell with a shot toward the net. Stopped right on. Rebound, Murray tried to put it to the net, and then the net comes off its moorings, rather, as that was a beautiful pass by Pekka. Pekka's one of the better passers on the team, Coach. He just doesn't seem to get the assists with it, because that was a beautiful pass.
Yeah, he's
right
a good
center.
setup. There's no question that he's a good setup man. That's one of his strong suits for sure. And this just seems to be a game whoever's going to be the aggressor that's going to be the difference maker.
Santoro lost that one. Puck goes out the center. Glassrud will send it right back in as the Eagles tag up. 5 seconds remaining on the Eagle power play. Good job by Santoro to force the puck to McMains. McMains back to the point to Glassrud. Glassrud, as the power play expires, sends it toward the net, deflected by Santoro wide. Gazzardi looks to go back to Pacheco as Vickerman came on the ice, but the Eagles keep it in. Pacheco toward the net. Puck deflected. Picked up by McMains on the goal line. McMains comes up the near side half wall, spindles it back around the Gazzardi, goes off the official and the door. Still on the ice, though, as it didn't hit the net. McMains gets bodied away, and finally Vickerman comes out with it. As the Eagles, again, doing a good job forechecking, just not getting the great shots that they're looking for. Then a bad deflection to Lynch, and the Eagles had to take the puck back, and then a nice move by Gazzardi. 2-on-1 if he hurries. Stick checked all the way down the ice as the Eagle defense changed behind him, so nobody was there. Murray ended up coming onto the ice, but after the puck was chopped off the stick, Kennedy rimmed it around. Eagles, McMains does a good job to keep it in. Bolak in there fighting as well. Finds Murray with a little wrist shot that was stopped by Guerin. Murray then chases in, dangerously so, keeps it in momentarily. Does Kennedy. Puck still in the zone and finally sent back out to center by Bolak. Puck dumped right back in. Kimball goes in. He takes out the body of Fedorov. Murray sends it toward the net looking for Bolak. Kennedy picks it up on the far side, tried to chip it down deep. Vickerman finally gets it out with a long pass to Marchand. Marchand gets to the red line, dumps it in. Chasing after it is Thurston with speed, but Kennedy wins the race first. Makes a fancy move and then a long pass to Howell at the red line. It goes off his stick, so no icing. Howell will chase after it on the forecheck as Kaiser picked it up. Howell hits Kaiser. Puck goes D to D, but good job by Kimball to get in there. Eagles keep it in the zone. O'Connell, the shot toward the net, sticked into the netting by Guerin. 9:20 gone in the second period. Still 1-1. And, outside of not taking penalties, Coach, the Eagles have been dominant on the forecheck. I mean, again, zone time, if I had a ticker, it would be 2-1 easy.
Yeah, and again, like I say, just whoever is the aggressor in this, and right now it's post, the other team does not have a response for that. And conversely, when Southern New Hampshire's pressuring hard, you get post running around. So it's who's willing to do that for the next 40 minutes.
O'Connell gives to Pekka. Pekka holds, waits, toward the score! I'm not sure if it was Pekka or Atkinson at 9:30, but the Eagles win a face-off, go all the way around. It looks like it's going to be Mateo Pekka's goal, his second of the year. That might have deflected off a penman's stick. And at 9:30, the Eagles take a 2-0 lead, and we just talked about it, and the Eagles get a goal on the board.
Yeah, just again, they attacked, and Southern New Hampshire didn't have an answer for it, and I'm sure it's something they're going to be talking about and they're going to be working on, because if you don't push back, it's going to be a long day.
We'll get the assist in a moment, but Pekka, so I guess the deflection was off the penman's stick as Atkinson was in front as well, and he went right to Pekka and said it was your goal. So goal from Mateo Pekka, his second. Now Schweitzer looking for Macau as he got hit on the way through and deflected it just wide of Guerin. Great shot by Mateo Pekka to make it 2-1 Eagles. Hope inside his own zone. O'Connell spindles it away, gives to Macau. Macau then deflects it into his bench as he tries to take out half his teammates on a deflection.
It'll get you more ice time.
It'll keep you awake.
Yeah.
Better than a cup of coffee, I would presume, right, Coach?
Well, yeah.
Everybody seems to have a laugh about that, which is good. A little ribbing never hurts. 9:58 to go in the second period, 2-1. Waiting on the official assists on the Pekka goal. We'll get those for you in a moment, but the Eagles have a 2-1 lead. Macau wins that face-off outside the Eagle line. Glasser looking for the red line, finds the red line, but his deflected dump goes off the netting, so there'll be another face-off this time closer to the, we're going to do it right center this time. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, 12:45 pregame, 1 o'clock puck drop on Valentine's Day afternoon for Game 2 of this two-game series between the Penmen and the Eagles. Puck dumped in by Santoro. Puck inside the Eagle zone, taken by Glassrud. Pacheco chipped it up nicely to McMains, who gives it right back to Pacheco. Pacheco on a weave, dumps it in, goes to Guerin. Guerin will glove it with 9:18 to go in the second period. Well, we'll have to work with the official scorers on that one as they Said it was Atkinson's from Pekka and O'Connell, though the player on the ice pointed to Pekka, and he went first in the line. So I'm going to say it was Pekka.
It looked like Mateo walked that around and he hit that far corner.
Might have rolled up a Penman stick. I don't think it rolled up Atkinson's stick. But officially, it's Atkinson's goal, to be fair. It's Atkinson's second of the year. And it's from Pekka and O'Connell at 9:30. We'll see if they update that as we move along. Long pass looking for the stick of Murray. Instead, Boucher takes it, but he can't get it out. Nice keep in by Kimball. Kimball rimmed it around the Murray. Murray comes over to the Zamboni wall. Boucher chipped it away. Murray gets it to Bolak. Bolak falls down on his own, then gets sort of splashed by Kaiser. Kennedy, long shot, looking for a deflection, goes off the side of the net, and then the net moved off. Looks like intentionally so, and they're going to call that penalty. Kaiser threw the net off. Referee saw it. Same thing I saw, and he's going to get 2 for, what are they going to call it, sportsmanlike conduct officially?
Delay a game, either way, right? Something like that. But it's just, again, some
bad penalty.
There's two bad penalties so far that didn't have to happen. So, again, great opportunity for Post to take advantage. And that was a play where that was still a 50-50 puck. There was no danger to that puck. No
impressive
reason. There's no reason to do that.
And he saw the same thing I saw. I just didn't think that was going to get called. He literally just took it and threw the net off.
Yeah.
And it was kind of coming off anyway, but you can't make it that blatant.
No.
So this will give the Eagles their 4th power play. They're 0 for 3. Rieger fakes his pass, keeps it, closes and shoots. Stopped right on by Guerin, who got the shoulder on it. Kennedy quickly to Rieger. Down low to Atkinson, who was credited with the second goal. Atkinson looking for Santoro, back to Rieger. Rieger waits, holds, gives down on the goal line to Atkinson. Tried to center in front, but a good body play by the Penmen to try to get it out, and it was as Minnick got his body on it. As the Eagles again had possession time. Rieger tried to dump it in, gloved, kept in nicely for a moment by Howell, and sent out the center as Simon got his leg on it. Kennedy dumped it in, but fanned on his dump, so he didn't get it deep. Minnick tries to spin with it, gets it high in the air, up and down, kept it inside the rink. And 1:15 to go on the 4th power play. Here's Kennedy with a fancy move. Gets the center over the line. Waits, gives to Santoro, closing in with a shot that gets deflected wide. Santoro gets his own rebound. Comes here on the near side. Goes across the ice for Norling. Norling on the far side point. Gives back to Santoro. Santoro leaves for Howell. Goes back to Kennedy. Kennedy over here for Murray. Murray with a shot that gets blocked. Eagles try to keep it in. Howell will keep it in. Right on the blue line, looking for Norling, and then gets a return feed. Here's Howell. Closing in, waits, gets stick-checked and taken down. No call there, as Devlin did a good job to take down Howell. Then a big hit right in front of the benches by Devlin, and the Eagles come away with it with 30. Kennedy to McCall. McCall closes in over the line, gives to Pekka. Pekka, nice little pass to Murray. Murray cruising and fakes his pass. O'Connell shot right on, stopped by Guerin. Kept in by Murray. McCall right in front of the Zamboni. Back to Murray. One-timer toward the net. Stopped by Guerin again, who had a lane. Nobody in front. O'Connell goes back to Murray with 5 on the power play. Toward the net, looking for the stick of Pekka. It goes wide. Pekka picked it up, looking back for Murray. Puck pops up in the air. Devlin does a good job to check, but Pekka does a better job to keep it in. He'll shoot it toward the net. In front, Norling all alone. Stopped right on by Guerin, as somehow Norling was left all alone. And a recenter off the side of the net by Murray. Power play over. Eagles 0 for 4, but a good power play this time. It'll go all the way down the ice for an icing. Eagles again, lots of time in the zone, a couple of good opportunities, but still 2-1 as Devlin made a couple of big saves, one in particular on Parker Norling.
Yeah, the goaltender's playing well. Just, again, like a lack of urgency. Like every battle in that zone, every wall battle was won by Post.
Eagles doing a good job getting shots, but every goalie turns into Dominic Hasek when they play the Eagles at times.
Yeah.
For whatever the reason. We joked about it a couple of weeks ago. The Eagles' shot percentage on the season is 5%, which is almost impossible to fathom. It's not like they're not getting offensive opportunities and they're not scoring goals. They're getting a ton of offensive opportunities and not scoring goals. I don't really know how to explain it. I know, Coach, you've tried, but it's one of those little anomalies. You know, it's not that there have been seasons where they get 18 shots in the game and they're not scoring a lot, and we look at each other and, you're getting 18 shots in the game. They've regularly gotten 30 to 40 shots in the game and still scoring at this clip.
Yeah, and they get opportunities, and again, it's a cliche, but winning is hard. Winning is hard. Everything has to happen. The stars all have to align.
Thurston tried to center it all the way through. Puck lay in the slot for a moment, finally taken away. He's got Howell if he could get it to him, but he couldn't. Howell then does a good job to back check. He comes up with the puck, tries to bring it into the zone, finally gets it there on a dump, and that line will go off on a change. Good work by Jacob Howell, who scored the opening goal of the game for the Eagles. Long pass up the far side wall. Glassrud does a good job on the body, then steals the puck away at the red line, has his stick chopped out of his hands. He'll take the body instead. That's 6-7 frame. Not happy. Pacheco rims it up looking for Kennedy. Kennedy finds it, brings it in over the line. Kennedy makes a fancy move, brings it into the Zamboni corner, spindles away looking for Gazzardi on the other side, but had it stolen. And out comes Tyler Murray. Murray gets to the red line, dumps it in. Rieger will chase after it. Kennedy and Rieger back playing D full time together, at least in this period. Kimball shoots it up the wall, gets it to Gazzardi. Gazzardi turned it over, sent right back in, and Rieger will play as the Penmen go on a line change. Rieger. D to Kennedy. Long pass up to Kimball. Kimball didn't touch it, so will there be an icing? There won't be. They'll say no. So Gazzardi fights for it on the Zamboni wall. Santoro out there as well. Santoro chases Kaiser. Kaiser light pass across, but got it to Boucher. Boucher dumps it in off the wall, and Kunin will glove it down with 4:30 to go in the second period. Now a face-off deep inside the Eagle zone to Ben's left. Still 2-1 Eagles. Right now is Atkinson his second from Pekka and O'Connell, but I think it should be Pekka's second from O'Connell at 9:30. We'll see if that gets updated as game goes on. Face-off one. Minnick shot, fanned on it, got it toward the net, deflected away, never got to Ben. Puck on the half wall. Hope takes out the Penmen player, but Slingerman behind the net. O'Connell has him walled off. Then a shot toward the net and a big save. Ben can't find it. Rebound lay there. Whistle blows as Ben was shocked by that little wrist shot taken by Devlin. He made a big save, left a rebound, and then found it with 4:12 to go. Probably the best forechecking shot opportunity the Penmen have had in this game, at least since early in the first period when Vickerman had the one-timer early on in the game, but some pushing and shoving afterwards.
Yeah, it's important for Post to read plays and rather than react, act and dictate the play, whether it's offensively or defensively. That's the key and for any player to work on it and try to do.
No penalties for all that pushing and shoving. McCowell falls down, nearly takes Simon out with him. That slowed down Simon's momentum, though, and Schweitzer gets it out to center. Schweitzer takes a hit for it, then another hit by Norling on Simon. Puck goes behind the net as the hitting is now picked up, at least with this line. Norling, far side half wall, chips it up the wall and all the way down. This will be an icing, maybe. Let's see. Nope, they wave it off as it didn't get to the line. Minnick has a hard time playing it with Schweitzer coming in on the check.
That was good puck support right there. Nice breakout.
Back comes Lynch. Lynch over the line with a shot toward the net that goes wide as he was looking for a deflection more than anything. Then the puck squirts free, and here's McCowell with speed. Sorry, it's Schweitzer, Schweitzer over the line, 1-on-2. Couldn't control the puck. He gets ridden into the wall hard by Rufa. Schweitzer tries to get up as Rufa's holding on to him. Lynch picks it up on the far side, tries to get it out past McMains. He gets it out to center. Watson chipped it in, taken by Pacheco, gets it right out of the zone to Gazzardi. Gazzardi spins away, nice little chip pass to Glassrud. He'll just shoot it in on Guerin, who will glove it with McMains racing after it, and 3:05 to go in the second period. Well, those lines right before this change were heavy hitting, Coach. Some of the better hits we've had in this game.
Yeah, both teams decided to get a little bit physical there and respond to each other, and good potential opportunities by both clubs.
Santoro, who's done well on the draws today, will take on Kenny Thurston to the right of Sean Guerin. And as I say that, Thurston wins it. Puck rimmed around by Kaiser, out of the zone. Rieger takes it, dumps it right back in. Eagles tag. McMains goes in after Kaiser. Kaiser ripped it up the wall and out the center, where Kennedy sends it right back in. Eagles tag up again nicely. Gazzardi sticked it forward, but then the puck sent right back out the center off of Rieger's leg and back. Here comes Thurston. Thurston with speed over the line, takes a shot toward the net. That was Pompaselli who took a pass. Then Murray on the other side looked to center it back in. That goes off a leg, chipped into the slot. McMains picked it up. Now a three-man rush for the Eagles. McMains across from Murray. Santoro, rather, excuse me. And puck chipped to center. Santoro. Nice pass across to McMains. McMains makes a move around Kaiser. Couldn't get it. Santoro picked it up again on the near side circle. Santoro looked to feed it down to McMains. Instead, he turned it over, and here comes Coleman Nee. Nee gets to the red line with speed, dumps it in. Ben can't control it, but sticks it into the near side corner. Kennedy tried to find it, couldn't get it. Got it out to center, did the Eagles eventually, and it sent right back in. Sticked by Kunin, left for Kennedy with 2 minutes to go in the second period. 2-1 Eagles. Kennedy sends it up to Pekka. Pekka chipped off his stick. Nice little drop pass to O'Connell inside the zone. Slows things down a little bit. Then O'Connell turned it over on a bad pass. Nee sends it right back in. Ben will leave for Kennedy again. Kennedy gets away from Vickerman, but then turns it over inside the zone. As spinning with it is Marchand. Marchand tries to go back to the point to Rufa. He does. Rufa takes a shot. Nicely blocked, and here come the Eagles. Howell to Pekka. 3-on-2. Over the line. Looked the pass, but he didn't get across the line before he sent that pass. So that's offsides with 89 seconds to go in the second period. And a face-off just outside the Penmen line.
Yeah, there have not been a lot of grade A scoring opportunities off the rush in this game. They most come from pucks getting in deep, getting behind the D, and then forechecking taking over.
Yeah, the forecheck has been fun to watch, Coach, because the Eagles at least have done a good job working that puck around. They just haven't had the grade A shots that they needed. Guerin has made some great saves as well. So a little bit of a mix. Here's Murray. 2-on-3. He'll get to the blue line, dump it in, let his forecheckers go to work. That includes Pacheco and Bolak. Penmen rim it around all the way over here to Kim. Kim then gives it on the fly to Slingerland. Slingerland tried to center it in front. He did. Ben made the save. Hit after the whistle, and that makes Kim unhappy. And Kim now showing his displeasure. 5'9", 165 out of Calgary, Alberta. Goes back at Connor Murray, who seems unimpressed with a minute to go in the second period.
Yeah, right now the officials doing a good job of kind of letting the players sort things out and not calling any, if you will, ticky-tacky type penalties.
Face off to the left of Kunin, a minute even to go in period number 2. Eagles lead 2-1. Norling and Lynch on the draw. Won by Norling. Kennedy picks it up, spins away from the check of Watson, gives to Kennedy, tried to get it up the wall, but kept in momentarily by Kaiser. Eagles now try to come out. Here's Schweitzer carrying it up on a 3-man rush. Schweitzer dumps it in. McCall will chase after it. McCall sends it behind the net for Norling, who wasn't prepared for it. Norling then gets hit for his trouble. Lynch tries to get it out. Good forecheck again by Schweitzer, and out come the Penmen. Watson tries to get around Kennedy, who stepped up. There's a penalty behind the play for something on Norling. Roughing it will be. And a very similar story to the end of the first period. Penalty. Not sure how valid or invalid, but in 1927, the Penmen go to power play number 4. They're 1 for 3, and their goal in the first period was in the waning seconds of the period.
Yeah, you really kind of scratch your head a little bit. There's behind the play penalties are typically there's some measure of frustration from the player, and they're trying to exact some justice when they hope nobody's looking.
So Norling 2 for roughing. Coach Richter not happy with that call either. I didn't see it. I couldn't tell you what it was. Here's Rufa. Rufa goes across to Vickerman. Vickerman gives down low to Devlin. Devlin back to Vickerman. Top of the far circle. Shot toward the deflected in front. Bounces off of Ben, and somehow he got it out. It deflected off a body, then off of Ben, and through the crease, and just out the other side. Here's Devlin behind his own net. Devlin looking for Vickerman with 10. Vickerman goes behind the net. Still playing hard is Thurston. Thurston tried to center in front. Rieger does a good job pinning him there. Thurston comes away, gives to Rufa at the point. Period ends as they were trying to set up Vickerman for a one-timer, and the Eagles kill off those 32 seconds. But there'll be a minute 28 of power play time for the Penmen as we start period 3. Coach, Eagles 2-1. They're crediting the goal to Atkinson right now as second at 9:30 from Pekka and O'Connell. Whether it's Atkinson or Pekka, the Eagles do have a 2-1 lead and 20 minutes to go for a big conference win if they can get it.
Yeah, and they've got a penalty to kill off, but sometimes, that penalty that you're going to be killing off to start the period is not necessarily always to your benefit. Sometimes you'll have wet, sticky ice. You're trying to get your rhythm going, your feet going. So I suppose if you have to kill, I think I'd rather kill at that point than when we've got our pace and our tempo and our legs are moving.
That's where we stand after 2 periods of play. Eagles with a 2-1 lead will be shorthanded for 88 seconds to start the third period, barring any other penalties. We'll come back in 2 minutes with a look around the NE10 for a Friday afternoon, soon to be Friday evening here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. I'm Jeff Nelson. Eagles with a 2-1 lead goal currently credited to Owen Atkinson, his second of the year, from Mateo Pekka and Ryan O'Connell at 9:30, the difference here. Second period intermission, as we usually do, we go around the the NE10 rather. Get you an update there, and that's brought to you by Post University, ranked as one of the top online colleges for 2025 by Newsweek. And Post continues to celebrate 25 years, a quarter century of empowering learners worldwide. So ask yourself, are you a Post person? Reach out today to see what Post can offer you online, hybrid, or on-campus degree options await. For more information on all of Post degree programs, to take a tour, visit campus, or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Do it today because it is the application season. Get that in while you can. Eagle fans, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Have you bought that special someone something? If you haven't, what better way to surprise them than with something from the Eagle gift shop? Post University branded items, clothing, whatever you need. Go to posteagles.com, click on the fans tab, and choose school store on the left-hand side, and shop till you drop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code LOVE20 to receive 25% off any order of $100 or more. Exclusions do apply. That code is LOVE25, LOVE25. It will expire on Sunday, February 15th, on a long President's Day weekend and a day off on Monday for most of us. Not all, but most. On a Friday afternoon, we go around the NE10, and, well, the superlatives for the conference this week is a sweep for St. A's. Cam Collins, senior forward out of Raynham, Mass., fresh off being named a Joe Kincannon Award semifinalist. He put on a show at Sullivan Arena last weekend, posting 5 points on 2 goals, 3 assists with a +2 rating as the Hawks swept Franklin Pierce to pick up 6 NE10 points. His biggest game was a 4-point performance, a goal and 3 assists, and a 7-2 victory over the Ravens. Cam Carroll from St. A's, a junior goaltender out of Putnam Valley, New York. He is the goaltender of the week. He had 2 wins over Franklin Pierce, 44 combined saves, including his first career shutout, a 4-0 victory at Sullivan Arena. Carroll's 2,056 career saves put him third on the all-time St. A's program list. And then Rookie of the Week is Sean Connolly, freshman defenseman out of Canton, Mass. He had a nice weekend, scoring twice, adding a pair of assists, and a +5 rating. St. A's swept Franklin Pierce last weekend, so they swept the superlative awards for this week up at St. A's. Standings in the NE10 are as follows. Assumption 36 points, 12-2-2 in conference, 2-0 in overtime, 18-7-2 overall. St. A's 28 points, 9-5-2 in conference, 1-0 in overtime, 10-11-4 overall. St. Mike's 25 points, 8-6-2 in conference, 1-0 in overtime, 13-10-3 overall. Franklin Pierce 7-9-0 in conference, 9-16-0 overall, and they have really struggled lately. Post 4-11-1 in conference, 0-3 in overtime, 5-17-1 overall in fifth. Southern New Hampshire 14 points, 4-11-1 in conference, only 0-1 in overtime, 8-13-1 overall. That's the difference in the 2 points. Eagles have 3 overtime losses. Penmen have 1. Eagles 5 points behind Franklin Pierce coming into this weekend's action. The schedule upcoming as we get close to the end of the regular season. It's going to be this weekend and next weekend. Franklin Pierce at St. Mike's, 7 p.m. tonight. Up in Vermont, St. A's at Assumption, 7:10 in Worcester. Everybody will do it again tomorrow. Eagles at 1, Franklin Pierce and St. Mike's at 3, St. A's and Assumption at 7:20. Eagles will wrap up the home portion of the regular season schedule a week from today. They'll host St. A's here 4 p.m., and then they'll travel to St. A's a week from tomorrow for a 4 p.m. game up at St. A's. And both those games may mean something. Sort of depends on how this weekend goes. Again, Eagles 9 points behind St. A's. There's a lot of work there to do. But in theory, if St. A's does lose, they could control a little bit of their own destiny. St. A's is playing Assumption, as we mentioned. Franklin Pierce is at St. Mike's. So in a lot of ways, the Eagles have things in their way. Assumption looking to clinch the division outright. I don't think they're there yet. They're not there yet. They have an 8-point lead with 4 to play. So they haven't clinched it yet. They still have work to do. St. Mike's has got Franklin Pierce and St. A's has Assumption. So a lot of games still to play. Eagles have some opportunities here. But the first opportunity is to win today and take care of your own business within the NE10. Everything else around you can deal with after. But win today, figure out a way to win tomorrow, get through today, still 20 minutes to go first. That's the primary goal is today. And then see where you are in the standings chasing fourth place Franklin Pierce. That's your look around the NE10 conference for a Friday afternoon here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll come back in 2 minutes with a recap of the second period and coach's thoughts. As the Eagles lead 2-1 here on the Post University Sports Network. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut. Eagles with a 2-1 lead. Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney here with you. Second period goal right now credited to Owen Atkinson, his second of the year, from Mateo Pekka and Ryan O'Connell at 9:30, though we think that'll eventually get changed to Mateo Pekka's second goal of the season. But either way, the Eagles have a 2-1 lead after 2. Shots on goal in the second period for Southern New Hampshire, 9. A two-period total of 17 for the Eagles, 13. A two-period total of 24. Face-off, Southern New Hampshire 15-9 in the second period. They have a 25-16 lead through 2 periods. Coach, 20 minutes to go in this game, 88 seconds of penalty kill for the Eagles that they need to kill off, but 20 minutes to go to come away with a win. Never want to put the cart before the horse because we've been here many, many times this season, but the Eagles have been forechecking well this whole game. Not a lot of rushes, as you mentioned, in the second period, but the forecheck the Eagles have put on has been excellent. Just 2 goals so far, though. Yeah,
right now they're wearing them down, and the other piece of this is they're playing tomorrow afternoon, so you have twofold opportunity here. One of them is to just continue your forecheck, grind them down, and win this game, but then also set the tone for tomorrow so that they know that they have to respond to that. And if they don't have an answer for it tonight, which I'm not saying they don't, but time will tell, will they have an answer tomorrow? So there's a lot riding on having a very good third period for the Eagles.
Yeah, a good coach once told me that goals in the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes are not a good thing. I think these 5 minutes are going to be huge for the Eagles to get through, killing off this penalty and seeing if they can either tack on or regain the momentum off the penalty.
Yeah, I mean, this for them, it's not make or break, right, because you got 20 minutes, but it's a huge opportunity. And like I say, hopefully the ice will be a little wet, a little sticky, and the passes won't be as crisp as they can be.
Eagles 0 for 4 on the man advantage today. The Penmen 1 for 4, but this is power play number 5 for them this afternoon. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, 1 p.m. puck drop here on Think Pink at the Rink Day here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. It will be a 1 p.m. puck drop, 12:45 pregame if you can't be here live on the Post University Sports Network that comprises the CACC network and youtube.com/Go Post Eagles. Coach and I will be here with you, spending a Valentine's Day afternoon together before we go our separate ways, because I don't think our wives will be happy if we continue to spend the afternoon together.
Yeah, at some point you have to earn those domestic credits.
Absolutely. Although my wife would like to know if I should bring you a gift, and I've said I'm not sure. Coach wants a gift from me.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, a little weird.
But you know what? I tell you what, I do appreciate the thought. That's nice.
She is a lovely, thoughtful woman.
There you go.
But sometimes I have to explain man things. Well. Officials take the ice, waiting for the teams to take the ice for the start of the third period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles lead 2-1, third period upcoming on the Post University Sports Network. The Eagles will play tomorrow at 1, and then a week from today, 4 p.m., they wrap up the home portion of the regular season as they will take on St. A's here. The Hawks make the trip down as they'll play a home for next Friday here and then next Saturday at St. A's. Those games can mean something to both teams depending on what happens this weekend. We'll have a better handle on where things are after tonight's action. Again, the Eagles only 5 points behind Franklin Pierce, but need to take care of their own personal business here first before worrying about anybody else.
Yeah, and like we were saying, Jeff, any team, any sport, I don't care if it's minor hockey or pro hockey or college hockey, end of your season is where you want to be playing your best hockey or golf or tennis or football, whatever sports you play. That's where you need to do it when there's playoffs involved. That's where you want to be at your best. And that's what the season ultimately should be building to, is finding ways to improve all along, develop, and give yourself the best opportunity to just keep playing and keep winning. At the Olympics, Canada leads Switzerland 5-1 late in the third period. Finland
beat Sweden today 4-1, Slovakia 3, Italy 2, and Czechia 6.
Who do you want
France 3.
Who do you want to win that game between Canada and Switzerland?
I'd like Canada to lose to the U.S. at some point in the tournament, however that works out.
Okay. Doesn't matter to me. I'm neutral.
I knew a setup when I was coming.
Yeah.
Southern New Hampshire, left to right. As you look at your screen and dial, they're in the blue and gold. The Eagles and the home whites go right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Eagles killing off a power play of the Penmen as we start the third period here. A big third period for the Eagles, looking to string together some success. Pacheco brought it in, turned it over. Thurston will carry it out of his own zone, try to at least. Santoro does a good job stopping him. Down goes Thurston, no call. Santoro tried the center, nobody there, and back come the Penmen the other way on a 3-man rush, but the Eagles have 3 back. Now it's a 4-man rush. Kim gives to Vickerman, who dumps it behind the net. Glassrud gets there first. He'll take it, send it out, and off the linesman. Bad break for the Eagles. That would have gone down the ice if it didn't hit the linesman. Instead, played at center and then back into the Penmen zone. Here's Vickerman with speed. He's got the Penmen goal. Tried to get over the line. Instead, it was stopped. Turned over to Murray. Murray up on right wing over the line. Takes a shot toward the net that's blockered aside by Guerin. And then the Eagles looking for too many men on the ice, not getting it. Back the other way comes Watson. Watson turned it over to Murray again. Murray then takes down. Watson took down Murray, but Watson able to get it to Lynch. Lynch to Watson across the ice. Long shot looking for a deflection. He got it. Instead, that puck came right towards us. Watson picked it up. Rim of the near circle. Takes a shot toward the net. Swallowed whole by Aiden Kennedy, who was on his body before the shot was taken. And he makes the body save with 3 seconds remaining on the 5th Southern New Hampshire power play. 1:28 gone in the third. Still 2-1. Save Aiden Kennedy.
Yeah, he read that really well, and the Southern New Hampshire player's head was down, and had he had his head up, he could have dragged it across, but fortunately he didn't.
Knee and Howell on the draw, one by knee, pops free in the slot for a moment, then taken away by Marchand. Marchand, long shot toward the net, taken by Fedorov as Marchand found Fedorov, and the puck sent out to center. Eagles avoid the power play. Pekka picked it up. Long shot toward the net. Through a screen. Stopped by Guerin. But the Eagles kill off the 5th Penmen power play, I was going to say. They're 1 for 5 now. And 1:45 gone in the third. Still 2-1 as Pekka picked up a loose puck as the penalty expired and blasted the shot from the top of the near circle.
And that's where it starts to get critical, right, to stay out of the box, because now you're into that area of where Southern New Hampshire is in the 20s. Their odds are they stay there if they're able to get another power play and they can finish that thing.
Gloves and sticks all over the ice. Puck centered in front. Kunin makes the save. Southern New Hampshire putting the pressure on. And at some point you get desperate as well. And that's the one thing the Eagles have to keep in mind too, is Southern New Hampshire desperation. They know if they lose this game, the struggle to get out of last is going to be kind of over.
Oh,
not that they couldn't do it, but it's going to be tough.
Right.
Face-off won by Santoro to Glassrud. Glassrud tried to spindle it near side, then went far side, but then turned it over to Watson. Watson goes back to the point a minute, made a long shot. Nice save with the left pad by Kunin, who saw it late, and then a whistle because it got deflected out of play. Ben saw that late. He was deep in his crease, but managed to get the left flipper out to make the save and keep this 2-1.
He did. And defensively, Post is doing a good job right now of being into those dirty areas where those rebounds could come out, where Southern New Hampshire is not in those spots quite so much right now.
Santoro, nice face-off win, gets it back to Kennedy, makes a nice little tricky pass to Rieger, who gets it up to McMains. 3-on-2 if the Eagles hurry. Santoro instead dumps it in, will chase after it around Minnick, pick it up in the near side corner, get checked by Minnick, tries to go behind the net looking for Gazzardi. McMains picks it up on the far side half wall, gives to Gazzardi, who popped it in the slot, then turned it over and out the center. Gazzardi back to Kennedy, gives to Rieger inside the Eagle zone. Long pass off Santoro's stick. This will be an icing as Santoro is on the wrong side of the red line. Needless forced turnover. 2:42 into the third. Face off deep in the Eagle zone to the right of Ben Kunin.
Yeah, again, those are those innocuous plays that you hope don't come back to bite you.
Santoro again on the draw. He'll win another one. Give to Rieger. Rieger chipped it up the wall. Gazzardi finally gets it out of the zone as Devlin was doing a good job trying to keep it in. And here's Veenstra. Veenstra chips it ahead, but Kennedy right there. He'll go D to Rieger as these two have been reunited after really the start of the second period, as they were originally not in the start of the first. Kennedy, long pass, but he turns it over and back the other way with a long shot is Boucher, but he gets checked hard by Santoro. Shot goes wide and the puck sent out to center. Backhand dump in as the Penmen have to tag up and change up. Rieger, though, gets blocked by Veenstra, nearly turns it over. McCowell back to help out. Kennedy with a nice slip pass to McCowell. McCowell tries to get it out of the zone. He does momentarily, then sent right back in. Rieger takes a pass from Kennedy, comes over here for Norling. Norling struggling to get it out, finally sends it out to center. And the Penmen will have to tag up, but they'll send it right back in. And for the first time really all game, the Penmen doing a good job of dumping and forechecking. Here's McCowell. Long cross-ice pass for Schweitzer. Too far. Won't be an icing, but turned over. And here's Coleman. Knee. Then he'll turn it over to Pacheco. Pacheco up the middle for Schweitzer. Schweitzer dumps it in for Kimball. Kimball chases it on left wing. Pinned to the corner. Sends it behind the net. Rimmed all the way around the Pacheco. Takes a weird bounce off the half wall. And instead of coming flush up the ice into Pacheco's stick, rolled up the middle and out of the zone. Bad pass. They were going to call icing, then they changed their mind, so Ruda has to play it behind his own net. Eagles changing behind the play and pass to Thurston. Thurston gets to the red line, feeds a cross-ice pass looking for Pompaselli. Can't get it deeper, then finally dumped in by Thurston. Pacheco kicks the puck left by Kunin, gives to Glassrud. Glassrud, nice pass to Murray. Murray gets it to Pekka. Pekka then had it chopped off his stick, but it goes back to Murray. Murray to the red line, trying to dump it in, checked off, back to Glassrud, who will play it inside his own zone again. Looks for Pekka. Pekka makes a chip. He goes down. That'll give the Eagles time to change the rest of the forwards into the defensemen. And then a turnover inside the Penmen zone by the Penmen. Atkinson behind his own net. Checked by Minig. Looking to center. Goes back to the point to O'Connell. O'Connell shot toward the net. Goes wide. Comes out the over here for Pekka, who took a shot off the near side. Stopped by Guerin. Actually not sure if he stopped it or hit the side of the net. Hope keeps it in right on the right point. Howell sends it toward the net. Gets stopped by the Penmen D and finally sent out to center. O'Connell quickly to Hope. Gives up to Atkinson, who leaves for Howell. Howell and Atkinson collide, so Atkinson will dump it in. He'll go off on a line change. Picked up by Rufa. Tried to get it out, turned it over. Howell kept it in momentarily. O'Connell picked it up at center. Tries to go across the ice, instead dumps it in. Played by Kaiser. Kaiser comes out the far side, chips it up the wall out to center where it's played by Watson. Watson feeds a nice pass to Lynch. Lynch comes in over the line, being checked all the way through. Puck squirts in the middle, though. The Kaiser takes a backhand shot, stopped by Ben. Slingerland tried to get a stick on it, and then it's sticked up into the netting behind Ben Kunin. With 5:47 gone in the third, still 2-1. Coach Southern New Hampshire, their first real forechecking pressure in this game, and they've tilted the ice slightly.
Yeah, right now, the Post is doing a really good job of this half of the neutral zone, forcing Southern New Hampshire to just dump a puck, and the defense is back. Not a whole lot going on for them right now as far as that goes. So they're going to have to find a way to get it beyond the D sooner and win those battles.
Devlin and Santoro. Santoro been good on the draw. Puck left there, and a fan's shot by Kim as the puck just died in the circle. There's been a couple of draws. Santoro's one clean. Then a couple he's just forced the puck to just die there at the circle. That time Kim tried to take a shot, fanned on it, and the Eagles got it out. Santoro turned it over at center, though, and back comes Kim the other way. Kim comes across and then offsides as Josh Russell, a name we haven't said too much, came in early. 6 foot 165 sophomore out of Stony Creek, Ontario. I don't know where that is. I wonder if that's anywhere near Oshawa.
That's Stony Creek has a huge girls tournament, women's tournament every year. It's a big hotbed of recruiting for the women's programs.
Okay. Is that by Toronto?
I think so.
Okay. We'll do our research on that and get back to you either today or tomorrow where Stony Creek, Ontario is. Put it in the youtube.com chat if you know.
Yes, tell us.
Or tell us. Penmen try to get the puck out. They do with a nice little pass to Marchand. Marchand gives to Vickerman. Vickerman leaves for Knee. Knee took a shot, sticked away by Kunin. Glassroot takes knee down. There's a definite size advantage there for Glassroot. 6'7" versus 5'10". Played around to Rufa, who goes behind the net looking for knee. Knee been pinned by Glassroot again, but Knee uses his speed to get away from Glassroot, but then Glassroot uses that long reach to get it back to the point. Long shot taken from the point as it was kept in by Rufa, but Knee couldn't get a stick on it. Now Glassroot back in the Zamboni wall, being pinned there by Tyler Murray. One of the Penmen forwards goes off on a line change. 4-man in the Zamboni corner, but Vickerman comes away with it momentarily. Then Pacheco pins into the wall, and McCall has an opportunity to get out. Norling finally gets at the center. That'll give the Eagles an opportunity to get a line change.
Again, Post doing a great job just winning those 50-50s, those wall battles.
Murray nearly turns it over. Then he did. Thurston pushes it in, but Hope there to help out. Down goes Thurston as Hope turned it over. Then a shot taken off the wing by Rufa as the Eagles turned it over again. Thurston takes a return feed, looking to center in front. He did, then taken down. Kunin makes the save, and that's one of those you want to call a good penalty as Max Bolak takes down Ryan Pompaselli, who was breaking in between the circles. Had an opportunity from about 10 feet out, but Bolak's, call it hook, 741, prevented what would have been a much better goal-scoring opportunity. Bit of a defensive breakdown, but a good penalty at 7:41.
Right, and again, as good as Post has been in their defensive zone, that shift, a lot of reaching, feet weren't moving, and this is the result you get.
6 Penmen power play. They're 1 for 5. Bolak 2 for hooking at 7:41. Return feed taken on a deflected shot by Kaiser. It deflected off somebody and went wide. Not sure if it was an Eagles stick or a Penmen stick, but Kaiser will play it inside his own zone after the Eagles wipe it out. Dangerous pass across Gazzardi's body. Lynch gives it to Watson, who takes a shot stopped by Kunin as he closes in. Referee in the way. Gazzardi backhands it high and all the way down the ice. Ben making the saves he needs to, keeping this game 2-1. Backhand pass, Veenstra gives to Kaiser. Into the zone it comes. Bad pass across, but Watson keeps it in right on the blue line. Gives it back to Kaiser. Kaiser toward the net looking for a deflection. Ben can't control it. Then through the crease it went. And looking to the sky is Jory Veenstra, who had a wide open net. Sent it through the crease. Didn't even hit the post. And it came out the other side. And he looked to the sky in frustration with a minute to go on the man advantage. That all started with a simple little wrist shot that Ben couldn't control. And then Veenstra had an opportunity. Right back in is Devlin. Devlin spins on Kennedy at the Zamboni line. Comes back to Vickerman, the goal scorer on the power play for the Penmen in the first. Vickerman goes across on a fan pass. Takes the one-timer! A glove save by Kunin, and up to the sky Vickerman looks. As that was set up beautifully between Vickerman and Rufa. It was like a bad pass almost, and Rufa ripped it right back to Vickerman, who one-timed it, and Ben read it as well as anybody.
And this is why Ben is the quality goaltender that he is. All day long, he knew that was what they were setting up, and he was right there up to the task.
And in my mind, I was like, what a terrible pass. He ripped it right back to him. Now, that's why he plays goal, and I am calling games up here. But now the trainer out to see Ben, who's had an injury issue earlier this year. Let's hope he didn't re-injure that issue, but a phenomenal save on a slap shot bomb by Vickerman. That's how he scored in the first period. And hopefully Ben is okay.
Yeah, and that earlier there they dodged the bullet, with Veenstra there, wishing he was the opposite hand, and then he could have just tucked that thing right in.
Ben's going to stay on, it looks like. 10:55 to go in the third. 36 seconds remaining on the 6th power play. Always have to wonder when you look to the sky twice. Both Veenstra and Vickerman look to the sky after both of their opportunities. So, again, desperate hockey team. Eagles need to kill the remaining 35 seconds off. Kennedy with a nice fake gave to Rieger and all the way down. That was pretty. Kennedy looked like he was going far side, stopped on a dime, rimmed it back to Rieger, and he sent it all the way down the ice. That was a good play there to clear it. Penmen with speed, 20 seconds remaining on power play number 6. Here's Rufa. Gets to the red line, gets to the blue, dump it in, goes off a body, picks up a loose puck, centered it in front, deflected in the inner, rebound, fanned on. Ben gets up, cross the ice, shot by Rufa, stopped by Kunin, he gets a glove on it, and that was ridiculous. Ben with 2 ridiculous saves, on top of the fact that there was a shot taken by a penman that deflected off the leg, I think, of Pacheco that Kunin had to make a save on. And another player looking to the sky in disbelief. 10:25 to go in the third.
Yeah, and you are wondering, if you're Southern New Hampshire now, you are wondering at what point do you get your bounce.
Face-off one again, 5 remaining on the man advantage. Watson takes a shot toward the into the body of Santoro, who's on the ground. Luckily, he wore a full face mask. Power play over. Penmen 1 for 6. Lynch tried to center it. It goes behind the net. Kaiser picked it up far side. Looking in front toward the net. Goes off of Lynch's body. Pops up in the air in the slot. Glassroot trying to body Lynch away. Finally, the Eagles get the puck, and here's Santoro. Santoro gets to the red line. Dump it in. Atkinson will chase after as the Eagle defense will change, and Ben Kunin saving the Eagles' bacon as they will. I think at this point everybody should be giving him Valentine's Day gifts. Brought right back in, Hope picks it up away from Veenstra. Here's the Southern New Hampshire push for sure. Recenter stopped by Howell. He'll just chip it out the center. And then taken down, looking for a call is Howell. No penalty there. Instead, Guerin has to cover it. That'll lead to a face-off deep inside the Penmen zone. Break for the Eagles. 9:33 to go in the third. Still 2-1. Howell looking for a penalty, trying to talk to the official why he didn't get one for being taken down, but
yeah, they never really seem to engage in that conversation, so I'm not really sure what the point is.
Rarely do they ever make that call, right?
Right.
Murray and Knee on the draw, won by Murray, but then taken by Knee. Knee tries to send it up the wall. He does and gets it out, and Rieger will field it. We're going to see a lot of Kennedy and Rieger in these last 9 minutes for sure. Eagles lead 2-1. 9:20 to go in the third. Puck up the wall to Vickerman. Vickerman tried to feed it up, but Kennedy stole it, just got it out of the zone, then turned over. No offsides because the Eagles brought it back in. Then Knee takes a shot that was blockered away by Ben. Puck sent back toward the net, played by Rieger, given to Kimball. Kimball up the wall to Murray. Murray looking back for Rieger, who's pinching in. Rieger tried to find a puck, instead Guerin stepped out and made the save there. Not really a shot on goal, but covered it anyway with 8:56 to go in the third. Eagles would be wise to push back a little bit because the Penmen have tilted the ice. This is the desperation time. We thought we might see it after the timeout in the first period. Remember, Southern New Hampshire no longer has their timeout. They used it in the first. But need to push back a little bit to regain momentum or at least re-tilt the ice back in the other direction. Here's Rufa trying to get it out. Feeds a nice pass up ahead. And then O'Connell does a good job to keep the puck from going to Slingerland. And then Norling picks it up inside the Eagle zone, but he turned it over to Slingerland, who got back up and got back into play. O'Connell taken out by Slingerland. Then Slingerland broke his stick, so a break for the Eagles as he has to go off the ice with no stick. Puck centered in front off of Ben, popped into the air and out to center. McCall inside his own zone. He's got Rieger and Hope, and then he turns it over. McCall does as he tried to dump it out. It'll be sent right back in with 8 minutes to go in the third. Hope. Nice little pass to McMains. Almost dangerous, but nicely anyway. And here's McMains up on left wing. McMains over the line. Crisscrosses with Schweitzer. Takes a shot toward the net. Blocked. He regains it on the half wall momentarily. Kaiser tried to get it out. Santoro stepped up. He'll knock it deep. McMains will chase after it, and here's Kaiser. Kaiser coming up the near side. He rounded the net. Good stick check, though, by McMains, forcing him to make a pass. Back to Veenstra. Veenstra, who had one of those moments where he looked to the sky, turned it over and gave to Gazzardi. Gazzardi carries it in, picks it up, tries to take a quick shot. He spindled toward the net, turned it over. Puck pops into the air. McBaines tries to chop it down. Eagles can't keep it in, but Rieger will send it right back in. Eagles will tag up. McMains goes down and after Kaiser. 7:30 to go in the third. 2-1 Eagles. Santoro watches Kaiser, feeds a pass up on the far side to Veenstra and said he'll just turn it over to Rieger, who sends it right back in on goal. Stopped by Guerin. That might be one of the only shots on goal in the period for the Eagles so far. Puck chipped in, no icing. The Eagles will touch up as the Penmen go on a line change. Pacheco goes to Kennedy. Kennedy chipped it up the wall, looking for Pekka. Pekka did a good job on the body, but couldn't get to the puck. As a good job by Fedorov to keep him from touching it. Kim goes back to Simon. Simon tried to feed a pass. Instead, Glassroot sent it right back to him. And Kim will play it behind his own net with 6:40 to go. Brian Kim, 5'9", freshman out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Gets the puck up on left wing, centered in front to Devlin, who took a one-timer that was stopped as he found the puck and just slapped it at Ben, and Ben was ready for it. Here's Atkinson with speed. Gets into the middle, over the line. Atkinson keeps going toward the net, takes a shot. Stopped by Guerin, as that's his best save of the third period. Puck rimmed around. Pekka chasing after it on the near side wall. He came away with it momentarily and then chopped off his stick by the aggressive Simon, and Devlin gives it back to Simon. Simon to Kim. Kim carries it out, gets to the red line, feeds a quick pass to Watson. Not sure he was looking for it. Said he dumped it in. He'll go off on a line change. O'Connell spins away from Coleman Knee, gives it up to Kimball. Kimball chipped it up the wall, trying to get it out, but kept in by Vickerman. Vickerman instead returns it to O'Connell. Get a second chance to do it, get it up the wall. Murray tries to do it again. The Penmen keep it in. Backhand pass toward the net. Coleman Knee tried to take it, but instead Ben put the glove on. O'Connell goes flying with 5:44 to go in the third. Still 2-1. Post University.
Yeah, you can see the pace picking up now by both teams here. Should be good last 5 minutes and change.
A broken $300 stick that used to belong to Kyle Slingerland, the 6'2", 205 sophomore out of Stittsville, Ontario. Sell that in the gift shop after the game. Get him to sign it, too. Maybe. Never know. Kennedy gets it out the center, dumps it all the way down the ice, chasing after it, and no icing call, so the Eagles have an opportunity to forecheck. Gazzardi gets down there. Santoro, who's played well today, down there as well. Rufa tries to go from far to near, gets it up to half wall. Penmen struggling to get it out, but they do get it to center. Rieger then checked by Marchand. Marchand kicks it into the zone. Santoro back there, I think one of his better games as well, and then another stick lay prone right into the circle of the far side point of the Eagles zone. See if one of the officials will grab that. 5 minutes even to go in the third. Rieger behind his own net. Everybody's made their changes, and now Kennedy takes a pass from Rieger. Can't sit there for 5 minutes for sure as both Penmen come to play Kennedy. Instead, he'll rim it up. Nice little chip pass to Schweitzer. Schweitzer up on right wing. He's in over the line. Carries toward the net. Bad angle shot. Stopped by Guerin as he took what was a bad angle shot with speed, but made Guerin make the save, and now Kennedy and Rieger go off. Glassroot and Pacheco on. McCall picked up a puck in the slot, turned it over as he tried to bring it in. Kaiser will carry it out, get to the red line, look to dump it in. The official now has a stick as he picked that one up that was sitting in the circle. Puck rimmed around to the near side. Nice job by Norling to get it out, and he'll dump it out the center. Looks a little weird when the official has a stick.
It does.
You think somebody might pass to him. Glassroot does a good job to body off the checking of Tyler Murray, and back comes Pacheco. Pacheco looking for Norling across the ice. As the Eagles make a change, Norling with a fancy move, the official will finally put that stick into the bench. So it looks a little less weird. Howell comes out with it. Tried to center in front to Atkinson. As this Howell, Atkinson, and Pekka line has looked good today. And then the puck shot into the netting by Hope off a deflection in front. I think that went off the body of Zakhar Fedorov, the 5'11", 178-pounder freshman out of Moscow, Russia.
Yeah, Southern New Hampshire is going to have to manage the bench very well now, too. Since they don't have that timeout, they're going to have to get something going where they can get the six out there that they want at that point. Maybe it's an icing. Maybe it's a goaltender equipment adjustment. Something's got to happen so they get the opportunity to settle it down and get their personnel out there.
3:54 to go in the third. As Coach mentioned, they don't have a timeout. Southern New Hampshire used that in the first period. 7:05 remained in the first period when they used it because they were scrambling around and Sean Guerin was saving their bacon, for lack of a better term. So the coaches used that timeout at that point, but now they don't have it, trailing by one late here in the third. Kennedy holds and waits, makes a nice little pass to Howell, who has the opening goal in this game, gives to Pekka, who set it up, tried to bring it in, turned it over. Atkinson had it momentarily, then chopped out the center. Kennedy quickly to Pekka, nice chip pass to Howell on right wing. Howell, long shot, stopped by Guerin, left a rebound and a penalty on the Penmen upcoming, as in the middle of the slot, Owen Atkinson was dumped. Second time today, he's drawn a penalty, and with 3:20 remaining in regulation time, we have a tripping penalty on the Penmen and a fifth post-Eagle power play
and
upcoming.
That's critical because potentially now there's A minute 20 before you can pull your goaltender, assuming Post doesn't score, and put a nail in it here.
Devlin, 2 for tripping, the junior out of West Falmouth, Massachusetts, at 16:40. If you're keeping score at home. 2-1 Eagles. 5th Eagle power play. Norling, Pekka, Macau, Murray, and O'Connell. Surprised the Eagles are going with 4 forwards late in the game like this. But Macau spins away in the near side wall. Looks to go to Pekka in front with a shot that got blocked. It didn't get to Guerin. Instead, the Penmen send it all the way down the ice. The Eagles have to watch for the Penmen flying and somebody down the ice. They have 4 shorthanded goals this year, a program record 4 shorthanded goals this year. Here's O'Connell over the line, avoids the hip check, dumps it in, but is rimmed around by Kaiser, and it gets out as Coleman knee gets to the red line. He tried to take a shot, got fanned. Norling and Pekka crash into each other, but they're able to give it back to Murray. With 2:43 to go in regulation time, a minute 20 to go on the Eagle 5th power play, 2-1 Eagles. Pekka goes back to Kennedy. Kennedy makes a fancy move up the middle, avoids one hit, got checked on the second one, and the puck sent all the way down the ice. Rieger skates away from Murray. He's got speed, gets to the red line. He's in over the line. Waits, stops, dumps it in. Atkinson, who drew the penalty, chases after it, pinned by Lynch. Santoro out there as well. Atkinson, Santoro, Lynch takes it, tried to chip it up the wall. Howe makes a nice play back to the point. Kennedy from Rieger, shot right on glove. Not a great shot, more looking for a deflection than anything. But 2:02 remain in regulation time and 42 seconds remain on the power play. Eagles still lead 2-1.
Yeah, one thing, too, the Eagles will have to really pay attention to as this winds down. If the Penmen get possession, pay attention to that guy coming out of the box or off the bench, sneaking behind you.
Santoro on the draw, wins it back to the point to Kennedy. Kennedy sends it back to Santoro, look for a turnaround, instead gives it to Howell, goes back to Kennedy. Kennedy on the far side to Rieger. Rieger looks for a lane, takes the lane, shoots the lane. Stopped by Guerin as nobody was in front. Once they moved the puck from near side to far side point, nobody was there in front where everybody was on the near side. So a simple wrist shot by Rieger, making Guerin make the stop. A minute 51 to go in regulation time, still 2-1. Santoro, another good faceoff win, back to Rieger. Rieger closes in, gives to Howe. Howe takes a shot looking for the corner and just missed it high and wide. Rieger takes a return feed from Atkinson. Over for Kennedy. Kennedy toward the net, looking for another deflection. That was like an alley-oop in basketball. He was looking for somebody to grab it and dunk it. Couldn't find the stick. And instead, another whistle.
Yeah, good pressure by Post. Again, really pay attention. Weak side D, pay attention to that guy coming out of the box.
Watch the streaker, watch the guy coming out of the box. Santoro loses that one to Lynch. Lynch will try to backhand it out. Kennedy does a good job to keep it in and turned it over, but Rieger back to help out, keeps any kind of push, and then he turns it over right in the middle of the ice to Rufa. Rufa will send it in with 5 remaining on the penalty. 80 seconds remaining in regulation time. Kennedy chips it up the wall, gets it out. That's the important thing. We'll see when Guerin goes to the bench. Rufa makes a nice little chip feed, but then good job by Rieger to keep it going. Puck dumped in. Kennedy falls down his own shot, taken on a bad angle as the puck lay there momentarily by Pompicelli. Empty net at the other end as there are 6 attackers on the ice. Vickerman came out for Guerin. Vickerman takes the pass. Eagles make a full change with a minute to go. Vickerman dumps it down around the boards from far to near. Glassrud plays it up the wall. Murray gets there first, backhands it in the middle of the ice. Here's Gazzardi with an opportunity. Gives to Kimball. Kimball with a lane. Shoots it toward the net. Gazzardi finds it and scores! At 19-13, the Eagles will ice it with an A.J. Gazzardi goal, his second of the season. And the Eagles have found a way to win. His second goal of the year. Give Connor Murray one of the assists. I think we might give Glassrud the second one, but let's see if they make it official. At 19-13, an empty net goal, and the Eagles have a 3-1 lead with 46.2 to go. Still some hockey left, so let's not put a bow on it yet, but the Eagles with a 2-goal lead. See if Southern New Hampshire pulls Guerin again. Gazzardi just wise to pin it on the wall there. Instead goes back to Pacheco. Makes Guerin make another save. Penmen now racing up the ice looking to create opportunity. over the line. Chipped in, chipped out. Guerin's staying on the ice, so they're not pulling him at this point. Gazzardi just goes high up in the air. So just give Kimball the assist on it. My apologies, I think I said Murray. Give Kimball the assist at 19-13. That's how this one's going to end. The Eagles, for the first time this season, win a game where they gave up a goal. 3-1, their 5th home win of the season, where they continue to play well, and they're going to come away with a big 3-1 win. So there goes that historic item that we were talking about only winning games where you win by shutout. The Eagles did it today, 3-1, an all-around team effort from top to bottom this afternoon. Ben Cunine leading the way again as usual, but the Eagles get a goal from Jacob Howell in the first, to get a goal from credited to Owen Atkinson in the second, and then an empty net goal by A.J. Gazzardi in the third, and they come away with a 3-1 victory here this afternoon at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Nicely done by the Eagles, who move to 5-11-1 in conference, now only 2 points behind Franklin Pierce in the NE10 conference standings. Franklin Pierce playing today at St. Mike's, so a lot of things up in the air, and where we come back on the air tomorrow, Eagles could be playing for 4th place, depending on how that plays out. You hear the semi-pro 4th place in the back of your head if you'd like. 3 stars brought to you by Post University, who wants you to ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals no matter where you are in your academic journey. Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For more information on all of Post degree programs to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Coach, your 3 stars.
Well, my first star goes to Ben Cunine for doing what he's done all season, taking charge. And you talk about how players can dictate, right? It's easier to see how maybe a forward dictates play, or even a defenseman. And the goaltender dictates by making important saves at critical times, and Ben did that. He did that. You could see the frustration with the power play on the face of Southern New Hampshire. So my first star goes to Ben. My second star goes to whoever actually scored that second goal. I mean, from here it looked like Matteo Pekka. No knock on Owen Atkinson, if in fact he did get it. But that's where my second star goes. And my third star, because I thought he did a great job winning draws at critical times, playing just an overall really, really solid or more than solid game, was Joe Santoro. I thought Joe played a really good defensive game, winning draws and being in good spots for the most part.
So 3 stars, Ben Cunine, the potential game-winning goal scorer, whoever that may be. Right now, Owen Atkinson. And Joe Santoro. On Santoro in particular, when he's playing well, it's very noticeable. When he's playing not so well, it's very noticeable. He's very noticeable at all times on the ice. He's not somebody who disappears. He's either playing really well, like I think he did today, to your point, Coach. Thought he played really well. And then there are times where you're shaking your head a little bit. But today, one of those games where he played really well, a full effort, and really a full team effort top to bottom.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, and you could also toss in, I guess, a third star, that the whole defenseman core, those 6 players, they played exceptionally well. They were back. They were poised. There weren't a lot of bad turnovers, poor passes. They played a very controlled game.
Shots on goal in the third period for Post, 8, a 3-period total of 32. For the Penmen, 13, a 3-period total of 30. Faceoffs got a little bit closer as the Eagles won 12 in the third. It was 12-8 in the third, 33-28 overall for Southern New Hampshire. Southern New Hampshire 1 for 6 on the man advantage. The Eagles 0 for 5 on the man advantage.
And when you look at that, almost like 2 different games, right? 5-on-5, I think Post was the better team all day long. But that Southern New Hampshire power play is something to be reckoned with. And you could argue that last one, that 6 power play there, it it wasn't in the cards. The hockey gods weren't smiling at them on that one because there were so many open nets that they could have had, but they just couldn't quite get there. So that being said, come tomorrow, I expect when Southern New Hampshire gets those opportunities, it's going to be much more challenging for Post to counteract those. I mean, they did a good job. Sometimes you get some lucky bounces in that, and they got lucky bounces along with playing well. So that makes you feel good as a player and as a coach.
Also, by the way, while I don't want to jinx it, 2-0 with the new banner here at home. Two straight wins here at home with the new banner. With the loss, Southern New Hampshire falls to 8-14-1 overall, 4-12-1 in the NE10, 14 points. The Eagles now move to 19 points, 6-17-1 overall, 5-11-1 in conference. That does make the climb for Southern New Hampshire out of sixth place more challenging, but if they win tomorrow, they'll be right back in the hunt. The Eagles, 2 points behind Franklin Pierce, have now an opportunity. Franklin Pierce still has to play their game in hand today, so we'll see where we are tomorrow afternoon. But good things for the Eagles. That's 2 out of 3 in the win column, and they very well easily could have won that middle game at St. Mike's. But the Eagles putting together a little bit of solid performances back to back to back to back.
Yeah, and I think I think you have to give a nod to Sean Guerin. I mean, he yes. Again, he gave his team every opportunity to win. He made some real grade A saves. So again, tomorrow, that's a great thing about college hockey is you got today. You're happy. You got about a half hour, an hour maybe to feel real good about it, and then you got to compartmentalize, put that away, and start thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah. Also for the Penmen, I thought Zach Vickerman was very good. From what I can see, that kid, as we mentioned a couple of times, I think he's going to be a thorn. As long as he stays here, he's going to be a thorn in the side of the NE10 for the next 3 years, based on what I saw today. Because he's 6'3", he's got a wicked one-timer, and not afraid to put the body on when he needs to. So credit to him. We'll see how he comes back tomorrow, as these two teams will play Game 2 of the series. 1 o'clock, puck drop, 12:45 pregame on the Post University Sports Network. We are awaiting, hopefully, Mateo Pekka and Jacob Powell, who scored the opening goal. And Jacob Powell, as we talked about in the pregame, Coach, has been on fire as of late. Big weekend against St. Mike's. Unfortunately didn't get the 2 wins up at St. Mike's. Otherwise, he very well could have been in contention for Player of the Week. But played very, very well in those 2 games and continues his scoring prowess, opening the scoring today with his 7th of the season. I believe that's the team-leading 7th of the season. And it is his team-leading 7th of the season.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was good. And so the task becomes now, right? Like if you're Post, how do you play that well or better, as opposed to, that Southern New Hampshire is shaking their head saying, we should have buried more on our power play. So they have that window where we know we can play better. Can Post play as well or better tomorrow? That's the fun of college hockey.
I think the fun of college hockey is watching Mateo Pekka's eyes look as he realizes he has to climb the ladder to get up here.
Yeah. Hopefully he has his skates off.
Jacob Powell as well, so we'll see who comes up. I think they just both realize they need to take their skates off. As the one drawback of the broadcast center is you got to climb that ladder.
Yeah, the elevator's not in service today.
See if we can improve that in the offseason. But Mateo Pekka on his way up, Jacob Powell on his way up. Eagles with a big 3-1 win today again. Joe, all jokes aside, the Eagles do win their first game after giving up a goal this season, so we can take that interesting record off the board. But Ben shuts the door again this afternoon. Some big saves by Ben, particularly in the third period, on multiple Penmen players. And again, a 29-save effort for Ben Cooney.
Yeah, and again, psychologically, right, for Ben, right, for the team too, it's great because you can give up goals and we can still win a game for you. So that matters. That makes a difference, yes. Especially at this, again, like I say, at this time of the year, I feel like Post is playing some of their best games, their best hockey of the season so far. And it's just a great time to be doing that.
And not to look ahead too far, but you sort of you get the impression, or just my experience in watching, in playing at whatever level I played at, you get the feeling, because multiple times in that third period, the Penmen looking to the sky in frustration. You get the feeling the first 10 minutes tomorrow is going to be a massive anger push by the Penmen to try to get some goals on the board early. Just let the frustration out of the fact that they couldn't score at all. Really,
there's no question that. And then again on the power play, I think you're going to see a really purposeful, powerful effort on the part of Southern New Hampshire.
So we wait. Our players coming up. One at a time. As we bring up Mateo Pekka first. Wise man wearing slippers. They don't always do that here, so we'll move it so we're in front of this, yeah. Yep. Bring you over this way. Get the nice new banner behind you here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we're looking all professional here now.
Awesome.
And you're going to let me know when we're ready to go? I'm going to count it down. So, okay, hold on. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mateo Pekka here with us this afternoon. Mateo, well, let's start off with the question at hand. Did you score the second goal, or was it Owens?
I scored it. He admitted it on the bench,
Okay.
too.
We thought you scored.
Yeah.
We were prepared, but then they called Owen, so you get the second start today because Coach was waiting to figure out who actually got that goal.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see a replay. So talk to me about that goal. You spun around, made a quick little wrist shot, picked that corner nicely.
Yeah, so it all started from the face-off. We won the draw, and OC started skating down the wall with it, beat a winger, went around the net, beat a defenseman, made a great second effort on the puck to keep it in play. I picked it up. I saw Aki in front of the net, and I heard Howie just saying, shoot it to the net, and I just shot it, and it was a good place.
Talk to me about the opening goal. Nice setup by Atkinson. He came down that left wing, took the shot. You found that puck behind the net, ripped it up.
Yeah, that was another great communication by Howie. I just picked it up from behind the net. I saw the guy coming at me, and Howie was just in front of the net, so I just passed it right to him, and he was wide open.
Talk to me about this team overall. 2 wins in the last 3 games. Could have easily won the other game.
Yeah.
You guys seem to be playing a little bit better. First time this season you won a game where you gave up a goal, too. So you've got Ben backstopping you, but you guys really have looked much better in these last 3 games.
Yeah, Benny's always doing a great job back there. As a team collectively, I think that we found something where we're all working together and going at the same pace now, and it's really turned a page, and we're getting hot at the right time.
How do we carry this over till tomorrow? Because Southern New Hampshire not going to be happy tomorrow afternoon, Valentine's Day here.
Yeah.
Spending Valentine's Day with all of us, but they're not going to be happy. So how do you keep that momentum tomorrow?
Yeah, we know what to expect from them. They're going to come out hard tomorrow, but we said in the room, if weekend's not over, we're still looking for those full 6 points this weekend, so we're determined to come out tomorrow hard.
Mateo Pekka joins us, has a goal and an assist, our second star, so we'll give you the official credit on goal number 2.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll bring Jacob Howell up. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'll take that for you. His goal. Yeah. He gets the goal, which is what we thought the whole time, but he gets the goal. So Mateo Pekka's second from O'Connell. And now we'll have Jacob Howell open the scoring. Come on up here. Listen, let's not get into the climbing the ladders, okay? I've been here 7, 8, 9 seasons now, and the ladders get worse and worse as we keep going.
It's dangerous. Safety
Jacob
hazard.
Howell, welcome.
Thank
Congratulations. First goal of the game, 7th of the season.
Yes, sir.
You've been on fire a little bit lately. Talk to me about what you're seeing and how you're getting that puck in the net.
I mean, all the credit to my line mates. I wouldn't be able to do it without my line mates. 24 and 25, Huey and Pekka. Unfortunately, we lost Huey in the beginning of the game due to his shoulder. But Aki stepped up for us, and he helped us a lot with that goal. But it's all the credit to the line mates. I wouldn't do it without them.
Talk to me about what you've seen out of Mateo recently. That great centering pass, then he has the goal later on. He credits you for telling him to shoot the puck and then finding you on the pass. So what are you seeing out of him that's really helping you two connect?
Yeah, and I think it goes back to off the ice as well. We're roommates, me, him, Huey, and Chico. So I think that bond is special, especially outside the rink, but awesome also on top of the inside the rink. So I think it goes a long way, and to be able to play with those guys, it's an honor. I love them. I love them both. So.
Thought it was a full team effort tonight.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we don't always see that out of you guys when you win. Sometimes it's Ben sort of saving. Today it was a full team effort. What's changed over the last 2 weeks where it really seems like you guys are playing much more cohesive?
I think it's just been us against everybody, and that's the model that it's been before I even got here, before my freshman year. It's us versus everybody, and that's the way we got to play. I mean, it's not the season that we want to have, but at the end of the day, we still got 3 more games to go, and anything can happen. It's college hockey. So at the end of the day, as long as we stay together as a family, and good things can happen.
3 regular season games left, and you have at least 1 playoff game, so there's opportunity there. Talk to me about Ben and overall what he's meant to this team and what he meant today. A couple of big saves in the third period, keep this 2-1.
Yeah, we wouldn't have 5 wins without him. He's got 5 shutouts. That's unheard of, and again, credit to him and credit to my team. At the end of the day, it's everybody does a job, and everybody does their job right. That's what shows on the ice. But at the end of the day, it comes back to the end in the locker room. We have a deep love for each other, and that's what really matters. So that's what makes it easy for us to play.
What do you do for tomorrow, given quick turnaround? Southern New Hampshire's not going to be happy. They're sort of playing for their season slot because if they don't win tomorrow, they're going to be the 6th seed no matter what. So how do you, particularly in the first 10 minutes, what do you guys need to do to sort of keep them off the board?
We stay to our identity. We're a blue-collar team. We chip away at the little momentum. We win little battles. We finish hits, and we capitalize on our opportunities. That's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, we get back, we go to sleep, we get some fluids in us, and we got right back to work.
Jacob Powell, 7th goal of the season, team leading 7th goal of the season, open the scoring. Eagles 3-1 win today. Join us tomorrow, 12:45, pregame, 1 o'clock, puck drop on the Post University Sports Network. For Coach Pete Whitney, for Jacob Powell, and everybody else who helps make this possible, I'm Jeff Nelson. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Post University Sports Network. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Congratulations. Good job.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey.
Ollie, before you go.
Beckett's.
Those aren't yours.
They're Beckett's.
They do not fit.
That makes sense. They're Beckett's. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Be careful. Good job, Howie.
Thank you.